Live from Chris Christie's office in Trenton, New Jersey, SativaCross.com presents Ignorance is No Excuse. Welcome to 420, ladies and gentlemen. Happy 420. What's up, Jim Miller?
Not much and everything, Lefty Grimes. How are you today? It's not Thursday.
No, it's Wednesday.
We do this every Thursday. It's Wednesday. It's getting me confused. That's what it is. Did you notice, what is it? There's a delay on the picture that we get fed. Like if I raise my hand, it takes that long.
Isn't that cool?
Have you got us on a delay? Do we have a sensor sound or something?
Well, let's see our producers call in and let me know how the feed is.
Yeah,
I got our producer on the line here.
On that.
Let's see how she's doing.
I want someone to hold that sign. Yeah, we're not allowed. We don't. It's always been in the permit. No signs attached to the building, the railing, no leaning, no attaching, and it's always been in the permit. As you know, we attached signs to the railings 20 Thursdays in a row in 2014, and we attached signs to the railings 34 Thursdays last year. And who was the last person here every time? Me. Picking every last little bit of tape up and policing the grounds. I picked up cigarette butts that weren't ours, just so we didn't get blamed for it. But this year, in spite of all the non-complaints for non-compliance, we're not doing that this year. No speaking to us off.
Hi, Jesse Sanders in the house.
So anyway, what I'm saying is we don't have our full complement of signs up, and we're going to need people to hold them throughout the day. We've got extra signs down here. We've got a Sativa Cross sign there that isn't put up yet. And we could use a little help in that area. So there's a Sativa Cross sign somewhere in there. Oh, okay, I just want to... Awesome. As long as it's up there and people know. Now we're cooking. It's the Telling It Like It Is Live podcast. Yeah, that might sound familiar because our governor had an unsuccessful and somewhat embarrassing run for the nomination, Republican nomination. And what did he call his whole running for the nomination tour? What was the name of that? It was a Telling It Like It Is tour he had. And he did anything but tell it like it is, so we stole it. We stole it. We had all last year the Telling It Like It Is podcast while he had the Telling It Like It Is presidential nomination tour thing. And we invited him to tell us not to, and we would if he would simply talk to us to tell us not to do. He doesn't want to talk to us so bad that he wouldn't even tell us not to do that. There isn't a rock big enough for him to crawl under to ignore us. We're going to be here every Thursday as long as we have the constitutional right to do so. And you know, we do try to obey all the rules. I'm not bitching about the signs not being on the railings. That's in the permit. It always was. We always ignored it, and nobody always said anything. But that doesn't make it allowable. I get that. So, you know, the letter of the law, no signs on anything, just means people got to help and hold out signs like Jai's doing. And, you know, say step left, we step left because, you know, we like being here. You know, we're not here to be a pain in the ass to any authority. We're here to be a pain in the ass to the administration, and there's a clear difference in that, and I think it's well recognized. At least I hope so. So, Jai, what's that sign say there? Turn that around so I can read that. It's not going to be on camera. Let me read it off. Marijuana legalization will fix our medical marijuana program. Less veteran suicide, more affordable. It lowers fatal opiate overdose rate. 100,000 patients would no longer be left behind, and that number is an underestimate. I always like to do that because if somebody says there's only 50,000 patients left behind, well, let's talk about that. I mean, is that the acceptable number? And I want to reiterate, especially today, why the Coalition for Medical Marijuana is here today. We're because of the overly burdensome regulations, the regulations that keep doctors from taking part in the program, the regulations that keep patients from registering in the program. There are 6,000 patients, and there should be many, many, many more. So we asked ourselves, with who we're dealing with, Governor Christie, and even beyond him, it's never going to be really perfect. All patients are not going to get it. So, Lefty, how many patients do we accept not getting it? What if the number wasn't 100,000? What if it was 50,000? That's too many. About 20,000, too many. About 100, too many. About 1. If it was me, no. But if it's anybody, no. The only way virtually all patients will have access to their medical cannabis is if it is legalized. So we are here to support that. And the Coalition for Medical Marijuana was formed in 2003 by Ken Walsky and myself, registered nurse Ken. We met, I became a new board member of New Jersey Normal. Ken was already on the board, and we realized pretty quick that there was a need in New Jersey for an organization about medical marijuana, marijuana in the medical context. Because then we didn't bring on anybody else's baggage about what Normal may or may not have done last year or 10 years ago or anything. And so we formed the Coalition for Medical Marijuana in New Jersey, where medical was the 100% the concern. Maybe 3 years ago, we realized how many people were going to always suffer, and it's not acceptable. So we changed our mission statement to include legalization, but that's why. And, you know, it's no secret I'm a cannabis consumer, but when I hurt my feet catastrophically 4 years ago, less use than social use was what it took to get rid of my pain in conjunction with a lower dose of opiates than would cause someone a problem. And when I hear people like Stephen Kusplitz talk about, and you, the amount, the numbers of milligrams of drugs, I don't even know what they are, is frightening. So we're here to support that today. This is 420, April 20th. Let's see, April 20th, 1999. I was in court 17 years ago today in Washington, D.C. 1998. Doing the math, 18 years ago. I was in court in Washington, D.C. with my late wife, Cheryl Miller. And that's because she ate marijuana in a congressman's office 3 weeks before that with the purpose of being arrested. So we were, and on 420, they called us down to go to court. And then they refused to charge us. And we refused to leave court. Now, I don't know if you can understand what that's like when the judge says, there are no charges, you're free to go. And then I say, no, you brought us here. It hurts Cheryl. It's going to hurt her going back. We're from New Jersey. You brought us down here to tell us to go home. What if we don't leave until you charge us? And Cheryl said, maybe we won't. And then the judge said to Cheryl, if you don't leave, I'm going to have you arrested for contempt of court. And she smiled at the judge and said, but you won't charge me, will you? That was the mouse chasing the lion. The judge had no power. We had all the power. And I've heard these words spoken in a different form, but I rearranged it with words I'd never heard before when I told the judge that we would show mercy upon the court and leave. Not asking the court to show mercy on us. We were showing mercy on them by leaving. They didn't want somebody sick like Cheryl being the public face of medical marijuana in 1998. They didn't want people to know that somebody sick could go use their medicine in a congressman's office because it's their medicine, and if that's what it takes to do it, that's what it takes. Now, even here today, there's people going to make a statement about legalization by gathering at New Jersey Weed Man's joint about 3/4 of a mile down State Street. They're going to march here, and they're going to gather and make a point. It's 420. It's kind of a cannabis consumer's holiday of sorts. That's what I hear. I don't go by that, 420. I have never looked up at 4:22 and said, too late.
I have. I've done it a few times.
So, no, it's 4:22. I got to wait. I got to wait 12 more hours. Yeah.
Just make up for it.
How you feeling today? You're in pain a lot.
I feel horrible today, actually. And now I feel even worse because Slamo says, oh, play this song for me. So he plays me a link, sends me a link of Afro Man because I got high. And I used to like that song a lot until I saw him beat the crap out of that girl on stage. And I'm like, okay, I'm done with Afro Man, and you should be done with Afro Man too. The guy beats up women. Afro Man's done in my book, sorry.
I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah.
He was never in my book.
Yeah.
However.
Yeah, you lay your hands on a woman, I'm done with you. I don't care how much weed you smoke, how much great music you write. I'm done.
Honestly, I drew the line before that looming. Presenting yourself in a closer than somebody's space manner as a guy for intimidation purposes, to me, is demeaning to somebody's psyche as it is against their physical nature when they get physically attacked. There's no room for that, you know?
No. And that song stinks anyway. Because I got high, because I got... That song stinks. Does anybody actually like that song, really? Afro Man? That one-hit wonder?
No.
The guy's a hack. Come on, man. He's a woman-beating hack. Afro Man. Don't ever ask me to play Afro Man on the show again. Anybody, please.
Good enough for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you in advance.
So the gathering down at the joint's going to be going on till when, in case people are on their way in and can hear us?
People are gathering at the joint right now, smoking joints. There's a big cloud of smoke down about 6 blocks down in Trenton right now. And that cloud of smoke is going to head up the street here. Right over here. It's going to be great. I can't wait. We should have a cloud of smoke here waiting for them, actually. Can we do that? Can we have a cloud here? Yeah.
No, not
yeah.
okay. No, not on this side of the street.
Okay, over there.
And no, not over on the white bricks over there.
Okay.
Patients to consume their medicine do that on city property, not state property, and we have no problems. And that's kind of what everybody wants to avoid, any potential problems. It's not that hard to do. You just make sure people can pass by on the sidewalk, and we're good.
Okay. Good luck with that.
Well, you know, it's not up to us. You know, I'm not going to admonish people. Maybe
I will.
I will. Okay,
I
you
will.
will. And
I love doing that.
You know, but I'm not going to. That's not our job. We're going to make sure they know the rules. There are rules. I mean, it's okay. Not with real civil disobedience. There are no rules. But this is more like a symbiotic relationship for a while. I've always found the real value here was when people did have a cloud of smoke across the street on a day like today, and there was no complaints and no arrests. It showed that it wasn't that big a deal, you know? I mean, it's just not.
Jim, have you ever admonished a stoner before?
Yes.
They look like they're going to cry.
It's
a very horrible thing to do. I hate it. I hate doing that.
Yeah, well, I do too, because probably 50-50 with getting respect from people in my case, but those that do respect me, I don't like to admonish them. So I don't actually admonish. You know, Stephen Kuspelich is my work in progress.
He's not going to stop smoking weed for you, Jim. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen.
You know,
that's never going to happen.
No, not stop. That's not what the admonition
or
was
interrupt.
About. No.
Weedus interruptus.
No, it's the placement of it, not on this side of the street.
Well, you try talking to him. I tried talking to him. He won't listen to me.
He went across the street already today.
He did?
Yes.
Stephen went across the street. Oh, my God.
He's a legal patient, and that's, you know.
Stephen.
But, you know, I can only do so much. And these are the people I love because they can help us get legislative action happening. Everybody has the same vote. And that counts for a little bit if you use it. Like I tell people, if you want to say, I smoke pot and I like it a lot. Okay, that's cool. And
it's cool, man.
But I do. But here's my point. If you simply called your legislator and said, hi, you're my assembly person, I smoke pot and I like it a lot and I vote, and I wanted you to know that, and leave your information, that gets put in a box with other people that call and explain the endocannabinoid system and why they like it. It's all the same box. If you follow me, they don't take your stoners calling and scientists calling. It's all people, constituents who have called about an issue. And when people start calling, it counts a little more than a letter, a little more than a form letter, and a whole lot more than just saying it to each other. So, we got to break away from that. Nobody's got
All
a
right.
target under that.
I have an idea. Let's call the governor's office right now and invite him to our podcast right now.
I'm not going to do it.
I will.
Okay, because before you've put that phone in my hand and thoroughly embarrassed myself, It all boils down to how quick you can say,
All right.
you're on the air.
Let's call.
You're on the air. Has to sound like a French word or something, and then it just gets by, and then you get to talk.
Oh, hold on. Are we getting feedback now? What does that mean, Cleve?
Getting feedback. That's what we're here for. We get feedback. We need to know what people think.
Are we getting like background noise like we do, like the crackling? Is the crackling back? Let me ask my producers. Are we getting the crackling back? Please let me know if we're getting the crackling back.
It sounds like a song, Crackling Back.
Crack
Or
back.
Maybe cereal.
All right,
Crackling Back.
governor's office here.
Chocolate-covered Crackling Back. So good.
Okay, let's see how this works.
I'm going to stretch while you do this and take a...
No, stay with me. Come
No,
on.
I'm going to take a sound check.
This
for
will
a
be fun.
second. I'm not going to...
Governor's office.
Yes, good afternoon. My name's Lefty Grimes. We're outside, actually, with the permit, doing a podcast. We'd like to invite the governor out here to speak with us. Is that possible today? Is he in the office today?
Hold on, please.
Thank you. Waiting for the governor.
Governor's office.
Hi, yes, my name's Lefty Grimes. I'm calling because we're outside doing a podcast right outside the office here. We'd like to see if the governor would like to come on the air with us and talk to us about medical cannabis.
Okay, so you would need to contact the scheduling office. Any request to speak with the governor would be needed to put in writing to them.
I'll put in writing. Okay, well, right outside, though. He just has to walk outside, basically, on his way out the door or on his way in. Can you come with us?
That would be the policy, sir, but hold on one moment.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So, I think we're getting somewhere. I think we're getting somewhere. Really. I'm getting further than I got last time. They hung up on me last time. They did. They hung right up. The crank caller, crank caller. I didn't get that this time. They're sending me to smarter people, which is good. Not dumber people. Or how do I know? Do I even know that, if they're smarter or dumber? Am I getting dumbed down or
No, I think it's a respectful call.
yeah, it is.
You called,
This is
you
good.
asked the question,
Yeah.
and they're dealing with a respectful call in a respectful manner.
Okay, good.
So maybe it wasn't as respectful last time. I don't know. I didn't hear you do
I'm
it.
always respectful, Mr. Miller.
No, to a degree. But this was serious, too. It's a serious matter.
Yeah, well, it always is.
And you did invite him on the podcast personally
Always.
when he walked by last year.
He walks right by us. He could just stop by.
He said
on his
not
way.
now. He didn't say no.
Yeah.
He said not now,
Yeah.
and you're just calling to find out if this is the now.
Yeah. So I think we're on hold. I think they're recording our hold right now, which is great. I'm recording this too. We're both recording each other. Thank you. So, well, I have a feeling that we're going to get him on the podcast today. I feel lucky. I think the governor's going to watch all these people out here, and he's going to say, you know what? This is my fan base. These are my people. You stoners are my people. I was wrong about you kids. I was wrong. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Would you accept his apology? If Governor Christie said he was sorry, would you accept his apology? Anybody? No. I don't see anybody.
Well, apology without action?
Yeah.
No, seriously, apology.
There you go. There you
call
go.
me a son of a bitch and give me action. I'm going to shake your hand. Call me your friend and, go behind us. But the thing of it is he needs to talk with us who know and use health department statistics of his own state to say that, no, there's not nearly enough people in the program. It's not up to him whether or not the program is expanded. It's up to him to sign it in the law, but it's up to the health department to do it by way of the law that exists. While he can veto, say, post-traumatic stress, which we'll get to his desk this year, and he can veto that, but then there are veterans killing themselves at the rate of 22 per day. So what happens when somebody kills himself after that? Is it partially on him? It shouldn't be taken so lightly. And if he has the courage of his convictions, and we're going to have a polite conversation with equal time and civility, why not? Why not? If somebody invited me to discuss the courage of any conviction I have about anything, I will. Why would I not? Well, unless it's the stuff I don't want anybody to know about, or I'm only kidding and I don't really think that way, but, it's not what I do. I expect he's on his way down right now.
Yeah, I think he's on his way. Governor
Okay,
Christie.
what would be the question?
What's our soundbite?
We want to sit down and talk about the lack of expansion to the program and what he had to say last week. We'd like to discuss that, and now would be a good time. And I'm well prepared. I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah.
But
How can we improve patients' access to cannabis in New Jersey?
well,
Governor?
it's that he says that only real illnesses are allowed in.
Hello,
But
sir.
the logic
Yes,
is
hello.
Hi, I'm sorry to keep you on hold. Is there a way that we can call you back, though? I apologize.
Absolutely. Sure. You ready? I'll give you my number.
What's the name of the podcast?
The sativacross.com podcast.
I'm sorry?
Telling it like it is. We actually use his campaign slogan from last year, telling it like it is. Is that cool? Is that okay? You think we could do that? I'm sorry. So the number is 908-616-0682.
Okay, and your name?
My name is Lefty Grimes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing.
Lefty.
Leslie? Okay.
Lefty Grimes.
Grimes?
IMES, yes.
Okay, and I'm sorry, the name of the podcast?
Telling it like it is.
Oh, that's the name. Oh, I thought that was a tagline. Okay, gotcha. Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hey, I think we got somewhere. I feel lucky. I think they're gonna call me back. I'm gonna sit by the phone like I used to do with my hot girlfriends back in the day when I was in high school, and they used to not call me. I'd sit by the phone waiting for them. She's never gonna call me. Is she gonna call me? Is that her? I tell the marketers all the time. I wish Christy. Well, Christy's far from a hot girlfriend in high school. That's for sure. Boy, oh boy. I wonder if Christy ever had a hot girlfriend in high school. Was Mary Pat ever hot? Is she hot? Jim, is Mary Pat hot?
I don't look at people generally whether they're hot or not because.
Oh, come on, Jim, you're
okay,
hot.
first of all,
You're
no,
pretty hot, Jim.
I got a mirror, and maybe one day I was hot, but hot I'm not. So the pot calling the kettle black sort of thing.
Okay.
It's more about what kind of person it is, and I mean that seriously. I don't.
I know. You're right.
She'd be the hottest woman in the state if she would help us get post-traumatic stress as a legal indication, and not to mention the gratitude of veterans in particular. I don't know.
Not just veterans.
No, well, the thing is,
Rape victims.
there are more civilians who have post-traumatic stress than veterans, even though the civilian population is affected less percentage-wise. There are more civilians than veterans.
How about parents of children that have died?
Yeah, it's
That's traumatic.
some post-traumatic stress is from a lightning bolt of an incident, and some is when you see it coming, it doesn't really lessen it. Maybe it's a different kind of post-traumatic because the trauma takes longer to happen. In the case of little baby Sabina, that was too sudden. That would be, you discussed that with Paul and Phil, Joanna, that actually it's likely post-traumatic stress
She wakes up every night,
running their life.
3 or 4 times a night, just to check on her babies now.
Yeah.
Because she's just conditioned
Yeah.
and she's just paranoid and stressed. Still, she's always going to be that. It's never going to change. And it's never going to go away. It's really sad.
This year we're not. I'm going to say we're fooling around last year, but this year post-traumatic stress is, I want to say, front and center because adding neuropathic or chronic pain is also. There's 2 issues that are equally, I think, in my mind, at the front. But within the coalition, making our plans that are more behind the scenes right now, I'm the point guy and going to be the point guy for getting post-traumatic stress moving and getting people to take part and getting it done. Now, will the governor sign that? A lot of people say no. I've already got another bet out, but may I remind everybody that I made two $10 bets that he would sign the bill where that Roger and Laura Barber were fighting for their daughter Jenny, so she could have medicine in school. She's a 14-year-old child. And he signed it after 137 days. That we had a sign, changed the number every week on a Thursday. He, after 130, he signed it. So the majority of people that said he would never sign that bill were wrong. What I'm saying is it can't be a self-fulfilling prophecy that we don't get something done because we don't try hard enough, because we don't think we can get it done. It's a vicious cycle. You got to try it like it's your last effort. You know, like if I was falling and I had no parachute, I might try to fly. I don't know. I mean, what else am I going to do? You got to do something. And this is it. This is and I'm going to retire from active advocacy as soon as that happens. There you go. That's a public announcement. May take a year, may take 2 years. I'm out. I'm getting old. I keep seeing pictures of me with lots of hair, brown hair, standing straight up. I didn't have a face that looked like a road map. You know, it's like that all happened while I've been an advocate. Yeah, you too, in a way, though, you know.
You still carried those speakers from all the way over here. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Well,
it's more than I can do.
Yeah, well, we gotta get this going on each day on Thursday, and you know, now to support others. It's nice for me to be able to support what other people are doing, because I feel I ask people to support us.
My producer just said you called me Leslie. Did you just call me Leslie?
Did I?
Did you call me Leslie? Did
No.
he call me Leslie?
No.
My producer says you called me
Well,
Leslie.
let's see. I might have.
All right. We'll have to rewind this tape tomorrow. All right, check that.
You know, it's there's a video evidence if I did.
Don't give me the spring training hubbub either.
I was making a comment. Maybe,
Leslie.
you know, you call me Nancy.
No, I would never call you that. Never, ever. Ever. So listen, the problem with Pennsylvania now, I talked to Dana. Lorelei goes to school. So what's going to happen when Lorelei needs to take her medicine in school legally, and she goes through the same rigmarole that little Jenny Barber had to go through? I think that's
in Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania now. The same old crap's going to happen in Pennsylvania to these poor kids.
You know, shouldn't Pennsylvania learn from us? I mean, it's
No.
not like we keep this stuff secret.
No, they're following our lead. That's the problem.
They're following actually there's like a competition between other states to see if somebody can have a stricter, what they call stricter law, what we call less accessible. Leslie?
The Governor Christie's guy called me Leslie. It wasn't you. Governor.
Well, that was on purpose then.
That's funny.
You see how little confidence I have? I had a chance to go, I did not, I wouldn't, I know that, and no, I waffled and thought.
Oh, maybe.
No, I don't know.
I am old.
Yeah.
I am old Jim Miller now.
Well, it is 4:20. I'm not a patient, but it's 4:20 for everybody today. So.
Oh, man. Now, you're still virile.
Well, I think that was a good call to the governor's office. And seriously, it's not out of the realm of possibility that somebody like our governor thinks he has what it takes to come walking out here, and in the 10 minutes it would take us to adjust to him being here, he'd be in and out with nothing but confidence and authority. And that's just, you know. But it would be civil time. You know, okay, he says no more people in the program because only true illnesses are covered, and that's already taken care of. Well, no, all true illnesses are not covered. I guess he wouldn't be able to spell Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, but it's not covered, and it should be, and there's many more things like it. However, what illness do you have?
Failed back syndrome.
Okay, so that's considered an illness, not an accident?
Yeah, I have spasticity.
It's
I
a
have
syndrome.
Chronic pain.
Well, okay, what
I
about
have,
an accident victim?
I'm an accident victim, yeah.
Is that where it started?
Started from an accident, yes.
See, I find that there's a lot of legitimate reasons and people in the program that don't almost really have what's considered an illness, more of an accident. or something that changed the direction of their system to where it developed into a problem.
Yeah.
This isn't just about, in other words, do only sick people go to their doctor? Only sick people? If you go in a doctor's office, is everybody sick? No. Hurt? Got something, I don't know, growing, I got a spot, I don't know what it, it's not about illness. So the assumption that we don't need to add anything to our program, and here's something else that's really insulting. He says it's because it's a medical-based program, there's so few people, as if other programs are about social use as well and people getting in easy because they're a little lackadaisical compared to us. There's the reason they have a phrase, throwing away the baby with the bathwater. And that's because at some point you can exclude all people who are not sick at the expense of virtually all people who are sick. So, cutting off your nose to spite your face, throwing at the baby with the bathwater, these sayings exist because it's something you're supposed to try to avoid doing. None of that to me is as important as the governor showing as a courage of his convictions and having that conversation. There is absolutely no reason he couldn't come in here with a handful of state police, keep people clear, and sit down and talk with us. There's no reason he couldn't. He should be able to handle us easy, right?
Yeah, we're easy.
And you'd be polite. I know you would.
I would be. To a
You
point.
know, he's actually can be charming in person.
He
you
is.
know,
He actually
as can we.
Speak for yourself.
However, the reason I'm here is we don't have a seat at the table. And if we had a seat at the table, honestly, if we had a seat and they say, yeah, I'll put you on some panel commission, Jim, and you get a vote, but it's not a real vote and a recommendation, and I will or won't follow the recommendation. I just want to be able, the things that are wrong with the law, we knew were going to cause problems before the problem surfaced. We said it all the way, but we had nobody to say it to. The registry, that's going to inhibit physicians. 1% of physicians are able to recommend marijuana because maybe they're too damn busy to go back and have a course in pain management that they didn't need to prescribe more dangerous opiates. They don't feel they should have to do that, and they shouldn't. But now with 1% of the physicians there, guess what's happened? There are doctors taking up the slack. There are what we call pot doctors that have as many as 700 patients recommended for using medical cannabis in New Jersey. And the reason they're doing it is because they're real doctors and they're trying to help sick people that are being not just let down, but excluded on purpose, as far as I'm concerned. They're excluded on purpose from the program.
I heard Dr. Anzalone lost his lease on his office.
We're still looking into the storyline there. Yeah, he did lose that, but as to why, it's not clear yet.
He's not selling weed out of there.
Now, right off, he's a doctor who has made many, many recommendations and has helped people's lives in ways that you can only imagine.
Yeah.
Now, that's him. But we're not just jumping to it without looking at all of it. That's what I suggest the governor do. You can't just say, here's how I see it and turn away. Here's how I see it with Dr. Anzalone. I can tell you that, but I don't know enough. I need to hear from the other side, and so far the building manager hasn't been available to tell his side of the story. But isn't that how problems should be approached? Right away, I know what I think, but I don't want to just blindly stick up for somebody that I don't take time to get what facts I can. And that's what happens all the time, and that's what our governor does.
I think it's funny that you can call Dr. Anzalone and get room service now at the Hilton.
Really?
Dr. Anzalone, Cush to room 502, Cush to room 502. Dr. Anzalone.
In a perfect world, right? Yeah, wouldn't it?
How cool would that be? Come on.
Yeah. Do you know that when I was in the hospital for 29 days, fourth time hospital stay for my badly broken feet, catastrophically,
How do you not get cannabis for that?
I am not a legal patient. I'm a what's called a non-qualifying patient.
How do you not get cannabis for your feet? Your feet are a mess.
Okay, that's how the playing field gets where it is. Where the playing field is I can't. I'm going to tell you that before the door closed with me in the car leaving the hospital, my ride home had a big fat joint that I smoked in the back seat in the most intense pain. And as we reached the parkway, the pain was gone in a way that they could not provide at the hospital. Now, what's wrong with that picture? What is wrong with that picture? It shouldn't be a fight, and it shouldn't be something done surreptitiously behind the scenes. That word didn't come out.
You do it again. I'll edit this out. Go ahead. Try it again.
No. Yes, I try to add a new word to my vocabulary every day. I do. I really do.
I can't spell surreptitiously.
I
can't spell surreptitiously, but I can certainly
you can say it
surreptitiously.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to try, though. That one's I'll come back later.
Let me tell you something.
I got to get some practice.
We get so stoned before these podcasts. I don't know how I can even talk sometimes. I'm just saying. So good luck, and good for you.
Well, I don't know that I get so stoned.
Oh, stop it.
I have a tolerance. I don't consider it so stoned, even if you do.
Okay. To normal people, it's very stoned.
I'm taking care of my feet. The byproduct is it feels good.
That's what I'm saying.
Or am I feeling good and the byproduct is taking care of my feet? Does it matter? Does it really matter?
You're an unqualified patient who it just doesn't matter.
I didn't realize how good this could be for pain and spasticity when I gave it to Cheryl for the first time in salad dressing. Do you know I didn't think it was going to work? And I had plenty of experience, and I didn't think it was going to help her spasticity and her pain. I didn't, because it didn't seem to do that to me. It didn't make me too relaxed physically where I couldn't do anything I wanted to do physically. I'm not saying it didn't give me immediate short-term memory problems, but I consider that as being so focused on one thing, I'm missing something else. But what happened is it was great. It was really good. And I didn't actually... Salad dressing, it was almost 2 hours till I stretched her. I didn't test it a half an hour. I didn't test it an hour. I was afraid it was going to be the last thing and it wouldn't work. And
I watched you do that to her a few times, and it was amazing. Her arms would go from like this rigid, and they would just loosen up like this.
To loose, yeah.
Loose. I couldn't believe it.
And beyond being rigid, the legs would pull back, the arm would pull back. It would all be a one big painful contraction, and that was just all the time. Yep. Except... when I gave her that salad dressing, it was the difference between spaghetti before you cook it and after you cook it. And I had never seen that. Actually, she hurt herself a little bit by one of her legs falling to the side. The leg that was rigid, that you couldn't push to the side, fell to the side, which kind of stretched something that never got stretched because it was too tight. And her therapist always knew when she had her green butter, and the doctor always knew when she had her green butter, not by Cheryl being spaced out, by the way her body reacted. What is that like for the head of neurology of a hospital to have a patient like Cheryl in 1991 and have her come in better shape than when he saw her from nothing he had anything to do with? And his name, I certainly can say, is Dr. Anthony Lombardino. He was the head of neurology at what was then Paul Kimball Hospital. Went up a little more to administration, and he said that if he could write Cheryl a prescription for marijuana, he would, if it was legal to do so. He said that long ago. That's because he's a real doctor. Patient welfare was his primary concern. And then he did prescribe Marinol off-label for Cheryl, and that was long before it was easy to get a Marinol prescription off-label. And that worked good. Just it did dull her senses a little more than cannabis, so I can see why patients shy away from Marinol compared to God's given herb, which is what it is. It's an herb. It's a vegetable. It's an herb.
It's scary how old school people, like my parents and stuff like that, they swear by pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Swear by them.
Well, the FDA, they're here to protect us. You know, if they don't say it's safe, it's not necessarily safe. And so now, with menstrual cramps being a bill, Assemblyman Eustace authored a bill for menstrual cramps to be added to the list of indications for getting a medical marijuana registration card in New Jersey. Assemblyman Eustace, very good on you, because although I don't know what it's like personally, I can attest to being on the other end of that when somebody is in pain and I'm not sensitive enough. You know, I think a lot of husbands could attest to that, you know, it's a pain that I know nothing about. And, but it affects half the population at one time or another. So that has possibilities now. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't get signed into law by our governor. But it should be talked about. And Queen Victoria. What does Victorian mean? Not in furniture and attitude. It's prudish. It's puritanical. And that Queen Victoria used cannabis for her menstrual cramps, and this isn't, you know,
Is that what they
a
mean?
theory.
Is that what they mean when they say period dress?
I don't know. I hope not. That's not funny.
Well, they say period dress.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it's
Queen Victoria in period dress. I've seen that, and I always wondered what a period dress is.
of that period.
Oh,
That time period.
Oh, that time period.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought there was some connection. Okay, never mind. My bad.
No, it could be. You know, it's,
I'm just observation and a question. I was wrong. Sorry.
well, that's good then. Education's always a good thing, and
My producer says a doctor loses his practice over cannabis, while pharmacists aren't charged when people OD on opiates. So effed up. Are pharmacists ever charged when people OD? No, they're not. They don't charge. They don't charge pharmacists. No. Why would they? It's a big business.
I don't know. It's beyond me why a doctor can't recommend marijuana, being a doctor in good standing and with a DEA license to prescribe Schedule II narcotics. On your way. Stephen Kospilich is not in the house anymore. He's not in the house.
We love Steven. He forgot his weed today anyway, so I don't know what good he's going to be to us anyway. He forgot all his weed. How do you forget your weed? How do you come to a 420 party and forget your weed? What's wrong with you? Oh, he found it.
Legal patience,
He found
Stephen. Like I always say, if somebody is a legal patient here, you got to fight that urge to say, boy, are you lucky, because I'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I know a lot of medical marijuana patients.
Show the camera.
I don't know any who are
Right here.
lucky.
Show the camera those joints right here. It's right above you.
Are you a legal patient? Or do you feel, but see, the thing is, to be a legal patient, you would, do you feel lucky? I mean,
Yeah.
here, come.
Over 43 years, so
You've been smoking weed for 43 years.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, fix that mic for you. Yeah, just talk into that mic so we can hear you.
How long have you been a patient? I'm not going to ask exactly why,
A
but
little over 2 years.
Okay.
see, but I can't. My
I've
point
had-
is, I
I've
can't say congratulations to you.
Yeah, well, I've had bad surgeries in my spine. I have a spinal cord
That's
stimulator.
not lucky.
I was on opiates.
That's not lucky.
And cannabis got me off of opiates. I haven't used
That's
my
lucky.
stimulator in a year and a half.
Yeah. That's better.
You know, so, you know, and thank you for sharing that, because as often as I hear people say things like that, it's never often enough. If everybody that knows that actually took part, we'd be gone.
Who are literally dying from cancer.
Yeah.
And in order for them to
Put
get
this.
in order for them to get any sort of relief, they're going to need to make their own oil. Makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
You know, how is somebody going to be able to do that at home? Throw some alcohol on the stove and blow yourself up, but you won't hurt. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. We need to be able to get that access to that in our state. We need to make it legal completely,
Well,
because
you
there's
know,
a
the
lot of
thing is,
patients that don't qualify.
Your point about patients not knowing how to do that is well taken.
Yeah, it's
but
scary.
you know, you could just. It's not maybe optimal, But the first marijuana that the late great Cheryl Miller had in 1990 was, I didn't know what to do, so I put some in a salad dressing, and it did work, even though she had the particulate. But then I would just mix it with alcohol, and then let the alcohol evaporate off, and that would work without it having a flame. So again, not optimal.
But you're not getting your THC either. You're not activating the THC by just doing a tincture, really.
Yeah, you just do
Unless
have to
you decarb it first,
decarb.
and that's that's not hard. But the thing with me is I don't drink. I don't need alcohol. You know.
You want to take? Hold on, we're gonna bring Super Dave up. Hold on a second.
Give
Grab
Dave
my
the
mic.
black. No, grab that mic. Grab that mic. Good.
All good for a
You,
better
you
way.
don't need to use alcohol. You can use vegetable glycerin. That's what I use.
I like glycerin better, actually.
So
I do too.
does
It
that
tastes
does that
better.
Yeah.
does that then is that what we're referring to as activated?
Use that as a
decarb?
tincture. You have to
Yeah,
cook
it works
in,
great.
correct?
I had spasms the one night, real bad in my stomach, and I reached for the tincture, took 2 dropperfuls, and within less than 2 minutes, the spasm stopped.
Oh, absolutely.
The prescription drugs don't do nothing like that.
Well, if you're taking prescription drugs, you're talking 40 minutes to an hour before they even start to kick in.
I've
And then
had
you're
them so
as
bad.
a zombie drooling on yourself.
I've had them so bad where I take 4 muscle relaxers and
See,
they don't
I
do nothing.
refuse to touch any of those anymore.
That's what I do.
Oh, when if you can
if
go
I
all
feel
the way,
spasms, I smoke
good
a
for
joint
you.
or 2-3 hits. The spasms are gone within the 3rd hit. The pain's bearable. I don't have the nasty side effects.
it's a very common story, but again, that's not in a
No, it's not enough.
lessening the importance of an individual situation. The basic human right of controlling your own pain in a manner that affects nobody else.
Exactly.
It astounds me in what we call ourselves a civilized society, but I'm not sure we are.
It's a plant. For God's sake, it's a plant.
And if you have cannabis, it doesn't affect me.
No,
In
exactly.
other words, I'm not
Unless
gonna
I'm
get
blowing it in
high.
your face, at
Right,
which point I think
you
you'd
know.
probably thank me.
Yeah, probably would, you know.
Is that I'm not. I'm even to the point where I'll say to somebody, "Excuse me," and I'll walk away so I don't offend them, and I shouldn't have to do that. You know, I don't want to offend somebody, but
No, well,
You do what you gotta
I
do,
was
you know.
with Lefty at a town hall meeting somewhere, and he would do at the town hall meetings what he does with the Ignorance is No Excuse tour, which is to find where he could legally use his state-sanctioned
right,
legal
I've seen them.
cannabis. So,
I've seen his.
it was just fun to see him do that.
The
And
INE tours are a lot of fun to watch.
Sometimes.
Well, some of them.
Sometimes.
Red Line's not all that
Red
fun.
line
but-
was.
no. Well, at this
you know.
at this particular one,
Is that a loss?
you had
most of them are
you
quite
had-
successful, and we thank
but-
you for doing that.
Did we lose the last one? Did we lose Red Line? Is that a loss or is that a tie?
No, that's
Pretty
a
much a
loss.
tie.
That's a loss.
Yeah,
It's a
I-
loss.
yeah.
It's a-
Nobody wound up in
by other
handcuffs. It's a
standards.
victory.
Well, wait, no, well, Jesse had a Jesse got a ticket, so I don't know. That's a loss. I think that's a loss.
Well,
Yeah.
the one event that I was talking about is like where you were saying you don't want to offend people. Lefty was where he was allowed to be, but it was also on a sidewalk where people would come off the parking lot, and he'd be nothing to see here, legal marijuana patient. You know, and it would
No,
it would actually stun
Oh, I
people.
know.
That
No, I would say keep calm. We're medical marijuana
calm,
patients.
right.
Keep
We're
calm.
people. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
we're hurting anybody. I'm not going up and blowing
and,
in
and
your
then
kid's face. Or,
and then it's some don't yell into
okay,
it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to let Jesse on.
Jim,
Thanks
I
for
love you. I
talking
would
to me,
never
guys.
yell at you.
No, you need.
Hi,
I'm going to
Jesse.
give up my earphones to you so you can.
Jesse, here, grab me from stuff
I'll
there.
put them on.
Okay. Jesse Sanders in the house, medical marijuana patient
Hey,
extraordinaire.
Jess.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
What's up? How are you?
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Happy 420.
Well, that's a little loud.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. A special effect.
Happy
That's trippy.
420.
That's trippy. It makes me like talk real low.
Smoke him if you got him. Roll him if you don't.
Educate yourself that it's medicine. Educate yourself that the pharmaceutical companies are out to kill you. They're not out to cure you.
They're going to kill me, Jesse?
Yeah.
They want to kill me?
They're going to kill me, you, your mama and them.
To talk about my mama.
I know. It's a shame, though, because we're all led to get sick by the doctors, and we're led to keep coming back and scheduling our appointments. And then when you go to the pharmacy to get what the doctors keep you coming back for, they look at you like you are a drug addict when you're just doing what your doctor told you to. And until you have a revelation within yourself, or in some people, unfortunately, due to their injuries, they can't. They have to always be on medication of some sort in some form, but they might be able to dose down. But even though some people never think, oh, I can live without this stuff. I had a girlfriend of mine tell me when I told her, I said, girl, you know me. I'm Mrs. Green Thumb. I'm Miss Weed. Get off those pills. She said, oh, no. My doctor puts me on this, that, and the third. There's no way I could do that. I said, look at me. I said, my injuries are a little bit more intense than your pulled this or that. You mean to tell me that you got to be on morphine patches, fentanyl patches, and you can't maintain a job or hold down getting up before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's normal? That's not normal. And living in a house and not being active, that's just making you like a sheeple. That's just making you a drone. That's just making you easier to control. You know, it's a shame. It's a shame because, you know, I used to be that person, but at the same time, I'm more hard-headed than most, and I'm probably overdoing it more than I should. You know what I mean? But I don't think that people should be forced to be looked at by the pharmacies like they're a drug addict when they're just doing what their doctor told them, if that's their choice. And I don't think that they should only be given that choice. I think they should be given every choice that they have, which should be the natural, holistic way. I feel bad for PA only passing, you know, wax and tinctures, because that's just messing with it at the same time. That's messing with what God made. It's not in its purest, raw form. They're messing with it. And not saying that that's not good or it's not okay, but they're not even given the option of the rawest, pure form. And isn't that where, like, I am from Mississippi, forgive me for this dumbness about to come out of my mouth. Isn't that where the Amish people are mostly a lot?
Yeah.
Lancaster and whatnot. And aren't they all about coming out last week saying they don't have one case of autism because they choose not to vaccinate? Didn't that just happen? And then they want to say, oh, and I know, God bless Governor Wolf wanting to get it on the table. I was watching an interview, and he said he'd rather put it on the table than turn it down and it go back to the drawing board for another 4 to 5 years when they're already going to take 2.5, 3 years to get what's already on the table. And that's a shame, because until your family gets affected, you know, by Dempsey, where, you know, their child's having 1,000 seizures a day, splitting their head open, and they've got bumpers on their crib and bumpers, and they're wearing a helmet, and they can't have an active life, and the only thing they are is a zombie, and they never can grow to be the child that someone let that thing marinate for 9 months and push out for 24 hours. What would you do? You don't realize until you get affected personally, and then when you do, some people choose to open their eyes and see, oh, maybe there's another way. Maybe not putting my newborn child on Valium, liquid Xanax. Maybe there's a better alternative when there's proof. There's cases, unfortunately, all on the West Coast and in other countries. And we've seen it ourselves, you and I, Lefty. Tuffy's fight. God bless Tuffy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
A child went from non-verbal, non-walking, zombie eyes,
wearing a
glazed over helmet.
In a wheelchair.
To a little girl with a smile on her face, picking out clothes and wearing outfits, and actually with her father and her mother, you know, going to different events. God bless them. They work full-time jobs, and then on top of it take care of a disabled child and still rally because they've seen it with their own eyes. Their child was saved. I mean, she would have been dead or a complete vegetable by now and dead soon. And that's a shame.
Because of pharmaceuticals.
Just because of pharmaceuticals, not because of her illness and her disease. You're right.
Her illness is a bit major issue, but the cannabis is helping with that. The pharmaceuticals were not helping her.
It's 360 that child.
Exactly.
she's being able to actually grow and mature like a normal human.
She's
you know?
engaging. She looks you in the eye and engages with you now.
Just
She
from
didn't
when
do
I
that.
met her a year and a half ago for the first time, just to see her and to see her interaction with other people, her pictures with her dad and following her story online, it's like a whole different child. God bless her. Ricardo, if you guys are listening, love y'all.
I think we should call down to the joint.
What's going on with Ed? I don't know the full story.
Well, I think he's down there.
Oh, he's out?
Yeah, he should be out. Oh, here we go. There's a bigger Amish population in Ohio.
Yeah, there is a lot of Amish people in Ohio. I do know that too. But there's a large population in Lancaster, right?
Yeah.
So if that's their cousin, and they're all about raw form, and they're all about pure, and I grew up on a farm. I know about buttermilk and milking cows and all that. Why would we take a plant that all you do is put in some dirt and let the rain come down and the sunshine and sprout up, and then you just let it dry, and you could put it in a cake. Nobody said you had to smoke it. Put it in, anything. That's the beauty of it. You can make clothes. Did people not want to realize that industrial hemp brought us out of the Depression in World War II?
Mailbox of 81.
Hi, honey. How are you? You look distressed. You all right?
What? Yes.
I would also like to say thank you to not only the State House with our permit, letting us be here on Thursdays, but for today, and our officers that are being very awesome with us being here. We really appreciate it. Because there's a misconception with people in marijuana. They all think that everybody's got to have dreadlocks, be stoners, and say what's up all the time, which it's okay if you do. But there's also the people that are behind closed doors needing it and having to wear a suit every day, not allowed to get it because of possibly a random drug test that they could lose their job that they're 5 years away from retirement for, but yet their health is in dire need of it. And due to a piss test and the almighty corporate man, they can't have medication that they need. So they're going to be quietly dosed up in the bathroom every 2 to 4 hours, taking whatever's in that bottle, probably 2-3 somethings in that bottle that the doctor prescribed for them. It's a shame. I don't even know where the camera's at, where I'm supposed to be looking. My buddy Jay over here from South Jersey. I'm very proud to have a fellow South Jerseyan in the house to ride and support with because, we need all that we can get. It might not have affected your family now, but it will eventually because, the diseases are only becoming more and more prevalent everywhere. I mean, cancer used to only affect a person here and there. How many people are not only affected by cancer, but now their children are being affected by cancer? We have to wake up and realize, is that Monsanto? Is that food they're feeding us that they genetically started modifying back in 1992? Could that possibly be what that is? And then let's take it a step further and say, well, how is the pharmaceutical company going to grow if we're not sick? They got to be doing something. And there's no money in a cure. If somebody says, hey, you get breast cancer, we're not going to cure you. We're just going to make you go through $150,000 worth of crap, cut your boob off, and keep you moving. But you're still alive, so be proud. We're a survivor, and God bless all the survivors. But when there could possibly be a treatment that they could 100% cure that cancer, why are we not screaming to the top of our lungs for people to be having access to something like that?
We have microphones. We don't have to scream.
Yes. Well, we do.
No, but it's an age-old question, Jesse. Why is that? I mean, what do we got to do to get people not just to scream at the top of their lungs, but to take 2 minutes that it takes to contact your own legislator?
Well, a lot of people don't know how. I know that from speaking to people on a daily basis. They don't know how. They're not educated in school anymore. Their parents might watch the news and they don't think it's cool. So we need to make a simplistic
here's my point.
way.
Let me digress then. If there was 100 people here right now and 80 said they'd never contacted their legislator, they'd be here right now. We'd have a chance to educate them and say this is what they need to do, And so very few will do it. I've done this for.
Can we build
my
a
God, for
website
decades.
that's really easy to, like, you can pick what
It could
county
be,
you're in?
Jesse. I've said, I know your legislator's phone number.
But
I could dial it
they're
on my
not
phone.
going to do it. They're too techie these days, Jim. It's a damn shame.
And
They're
I'm
too
sorry.
techie.
Why aren't they going to do that?
They're too techie. They're too into their cell phone. They're too
No,
got
not
their
that.
heads
Okay,
down
well,
like
you
this
know,
all
no,
day.
no, that doesn't hold water. That's not it. No, that's not even an excuse.
just
That's a
think
bad excuse for being
they're
a
lazy.
person,
I
much
mean,
less an advocate.
Well, that's what kind of society we're living in. They have dumbed down society
Well, then
so much.
then when they're sick and they don't have it because they didn't
They're
take
gonna look
2
for
minutes
us.
they could have, and
They're gonna look for
we're
us.
not going to be where we need to be to help them. Some people rise to the occasion. Some
I think it would be
run
great if we could
from it.
come up with a website that was so simple to where they could click on what county they're
It
from,
happens
click
all the
their
time.
legislature.
That's it.
And
It exists.
well, I finally took my first step and made my cards, and I am giving these
Nice.
out because I have so many people that ask me, "Do you have a card? Do you have a card? Do you have a card?" And I felt like I missed so many opportunities. So if I could not only hand them this card and say, "And by the way, you go to this website, click on this website," and then with my marketing skills, get them to partner with like some Burger King, they would do it for a freebie.
You're making the jump from asking them to do it to them doing it. That's a big
You have
jump.
to give them something, and I think if you
We
could-
had free food, for crying out loud, one day. We had free food.
People are lazy. I hate to say
But
it.
they're
It's a
hung-ry
shame.
too. They're not lazier than they are.
But it means they got to
hungry.
get up off the couch,
Well, you know,
walk away
then-
from their rig, go down to the state house, open their mouth, chew and swallow. Do you know
No,
how
that
they're
see,
not gonna
that's
do
work. That's work. Now, here's my point, Jesse, and let me explain how this works. That in the time it takes somebody to roll a joint, they could simply type in, now listen to me, and even when I tell people this, New Jersey legislature, they could spell legislature with all I's, and the computer is going to say, did you mean legislature? And go, oh, I did.
Is there a way that I could, like, we can have something and they can sign and we can then send it on their behalf to the legislature?
Yeah, and then if you're a legislator, what does that tell you? That people are too lazy to do anything
I mean,
other
that's
than
just
just
a fact,
sign
so
something.
we have to deal with
Look,
the facts.
Then this is what we have to. Then what we need to
can't
do. What you're
change
saying
the
is
way
we
people
need.
operate when it's a system.
Yes, we can change. Listen, no, let me finish. Let me finish this entire sentence, please. We can change the way people operate. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We're trying to change the way people operate that are opposite us, that are pushing against us. If we can't change the people who agree with us to do the things that would take a minute or less, then I should just go learn to play the guitar, because that's what I did when I wasn't here all winter. And this is exactly why I want to retire. This is why I don't plan on doing this much longer, because I need somebody
Well, you
to
got
tell
me
me
here to
how
tell you to stop. You're going to be here because I need you here.
No,
and you got Jay
I'm not
here.
gonna
And you got
I'm
people
not
like
gonna
us
be
here.
Yes.
We love you.
But
You
if
have
we
to be
can't
here.
get other people to be here, we are
But
not
we can.
enough.
We just have to come up with what is the way we're going to do it. And that's why we need to brainstorm about a good way, because people have changed, and it's a shame.
I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I haven't come up with it. I use everything I got.
Well, you know what? I think it'd be great to have a fire, a barbecue, some soul food, and us sit around. And the hardcore people that are here on Thursday, let's come up, brainstorm. And it's going to take some brainstorming, but we haven't really been able to do that, because when we're here, we're talking about the laws, what's going on in the day-to-day. We haven't been able to focus on how do we get these people that are here walking across the street in front of
How
us
we
now.
get the only real way to get them here is to find a way to make them sick, or somebody they care about sick, and then they're
I don't
going to
wanna
take
go
part.
right to the
I know.
negative. I
No,
don't
no.
wanna go
Well,
right to the
no, that's not the negative. That's the truth. That most people get involved when it affects them.
Very much true.
That is the truth.
But we maybe if we
And
could come up with an idea that would.
But we are here, and you are here, and you come all the time.
But something else.
You have the conviction that it takes to show up.
Because
and,
I'm a
and
patient.
And that's all it takes, is to show up sometimes. I try to tell people that come, have a cup of coffee, stand around, watch the podcast.
Me and you
all
both.
the
I
time.
have 3 new people coming this
we don't
Thursday
need-
from
yeah,
Pennsylvania
we don't
because
need to
theirs just
but-
passed.
but-
And they want to do what we do at their state house.
What I'm telling them is we don't need to march. We don't need to do much.
Amen.
It's fun to hold a
Can I
sign.
have a high five? Thank
I
you.
mean, no,
That's why
the
I'm here
marching.
with
I'm
you.
not. I think that's a great idea. I'm glad they're doing doing it. It gives visibility. What I'm saying is that
We
if
need
people want to support,
persistence.
if people want to support, they don't necessarily need to do that.
Not just people wearing their Rasta colors only on 420. We need people here on Thursday. We need people here when they have open meetings. We need people here when they have petitions to sign.
We need people who get embarrassed when they say what should happen and do nothing to affect it happening.
Yes.
Here's the difference. I like to explain it like this.
Posers.
When I bitch about something, I try to affect a solution and change. That makes me an advocate.
Amen.
When
Amen.
somebody bitches about something and
they
does
sit on their
nothing,
couch.
that makes them a bitch.
Amen.
That's what it makes them.
Praise
If
the
somebody,
Lord,
all
praise the
somebody's going to do
Lord.
is say, "Here's what needs to be," it's
And isn't
wrong,
it
it's
hard
wrong.
for you and
So,
I to
no,
carry
listen,
the weight of an
but
entire
listen,
state?
Here's how eloquent you need to be. Here's how eloquent. If you want to say, "I smoke pot and I like it a lot," you call your legislator. You know his phone number. It's on a website. You actually call up and say, "I'm a resident of where." You register to vote because that carries weight. And once you register, I vote. I smoke pot and I like it a lot.
Well, I can't.
And I want, and here's my point. Let me finish though. The guy after you calls, he's a neurosurgeon, and he says, "I think cannabis should be legal because that's why we have an endocannabinoid system." Do you know, Jesse, that guy that called up instead, "I smoke pot and I like it a lot," and the neurologist who talks about the endocannabinoid system, both those comments go into the same box. Called about legalizing marijuana. One has no more weight than the other. So just calling, if half the people that are going to come here, if they did that and called their state legislators and simply said, "I think marijuana should be
And not
legalized,"
just
for
write a
for
sign.
many reasons. If you want to know them, I'll tell you. If not, consider that I vote based on how people feel about that. How long would that take, right?
Mm-hmm.
It
I'm
would-
right there with you.
It would, and they can say, "Well, I'm against it," but then they know that you're on the other side
Well, I
of
can
that
tell you
fence.
one thing that I have been doing some hard leg work on since last season, my little festival season. I go to a lot of music, to this season because it's just started up. I've been asking people about the program, and then they have a lot of questions for me. And there's people from New York State, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and I have had a lot of people from their mid-20s to their 20s, all the 20s. They've had a lot of questions, and they are just simply uneducated and unformed.
Yeah,
Listen to me and the way I'm speaking as I'm talking about uneducated.
Oh, it's okay.
But they don't know, and they ask me a bunch of questions, and I have a lot of answers. I don't have every answer.
Well, then, what you can do to help is those questions people ask, when you find them being repeated more than one person asking it, make a note. Tell us at the coalition, here's questions that I find people having, and then it's up to us at the coalition to have frequently asked questions where people can simply go to the website if they really want to know. And I don't think we have a frequently asked questions
That would
section.
be great.
So what you're saying now resonates with me, that it's a point well taken. And if they don't have the information, it means we're not doing our job to our optimum nature.
And like I said, I have a lot of information, but then I even find myself up against roadblocks, and then I'm 6 people around me with all these questions, and they can't believe what we do here on Thursday, and they're so excited about it. And these are people that are their own boss, having to sell their own wares, being vendors, people that know what it's like to work hard, and for them to want to know more information for Pennsylvania, New York, some people even in New Jersey.
We have a lot of people in New Jersey who don't know what's going on, and they do need to.
And if we had frequently asked questions put together by you guys, me, and a good group setting, and then we could print those out on flat, I would even pay for them and hand them out.
Here's something. Let's broach the subject on the air. I find it a good way to get people involved in something. Let's just, as an example, use post-traumatic stress for everybody, but mostly brought to light by veterans who commit suicide at the rate of 22 per day, far that above the civilian population.
Yes, it's terrible.
So that it is our right to present this information at any post office where they say we can. It won't be in somebody's way, but you have the right to do that. It happens all the time.
See, that's something I didn't know.
Now, you do have the right to do that on Saturday morning, 3 hours from 9 till 12. Cool. If we did that one time, I'm thinking we would find people that would understand, yes, yellow ribbon is not enough for veterans. You ask a veteran medical marijuana or a yellow ribbon.
Yeah, we can draw them in with the Patriot
can-
part on
well,
the front, and then have the
that's-
frequently asked questions, because
Well,
then
no,
that's going to
I-
open
I
a door
just-
for more questions.
Oh,
once
this is
they
a
see
whole.
that.
Yeah, this is well. I'd like to be able to turn them
'Cause I
to a
found these
frequently
are
asked
really
question.
cheap.
I'm just saying, as a standalone thing. See, within the coalition, post-traumatic stress is
I know you're very for the
is mine.
veterans,
No,
yeah.
this has been assigned to me, and I didn't fight
didn't
to
know
get
that.
it. It was more or less. I'm probably the best person in the
But
coalition
you seem good
to
at
do
it.
that.
Great at it.
And I've
You're great at
been
everything.
doing this. I was going to Washington before I hurt my feet for federal legislation to see that post-traumatic stress was able to be studied according to
If
the
we
gold
could only have
standard
100 more
special.
you.
Well, if we had one answer for how to get people involved for 2 minutes at a time, that would cover a lifetime of anything I could do. It really would. It's the holy grail.
Yep.
And I agree with enticing people. That's why we actually had complimentary food on the last day of our season in 2014 here. This is our third season.
I think I want to get some good stuff to hand out to people, because now with these cards, I just have a lot of people that always have things they want to know. And if, like you said, we can think tank it, come up with like maybe 10 bullets, 15 bullets that are some of the top asked questions or facts
I
that
got
need to be
I got a
known.
question for today. Are we in communication with the people who were walking here?
Lefty was just on the phone with him, and that's why he got up and walked away. So I don't know if he's coordinating with them or
Yeah,
what.
I'd kind of like to know when they're going to be getting close.
Does anybody know about the
well-
march, how far they are? Anyone that's standing around here by my
Well,
speaker?
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the camera that we have up there,
I didn't know that's
our
what-
high-tech camera tied to the tent top
And say hello to
stable, but I'm gonna have to undo that, and I'm gonna hold it so people
And I have
watching the
this too.
podcast can see.
Well, it's not live though.
Yeah, but see, we
It's
have a
really-
live that we. This
Oh,
is
that's
the bit.
live right
That's
now?
live. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That's it. Look.
I don't. I did. Oh,
Well,
it's live. I thought it was just being recorded.
Yeah, but the image is way behind. See, that was me pointing at it just a little while ago. I don't know
So
why
they'll
that's
see
so
me
far
late.
behind.
They'll see me late picking my nose. That's crazy.
And I would think the sound is coordinated with what appears to be a delayed broadcast
Are you
by
like?
about
Are
10
you
seconds.
like me? Not too techie. I'm not too techie.
No, well, it's disconcerting to me, to see. Watch, if I wave the
The
camera.
lag.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
see?
there.
So that's how they. That's how they
Jim
see
on the
it?
computer isn't waving yet. Here he goes. Here we go. It's disconcerting to me.
Jim D, can I ask you, do you know anything about them confirming in New Jersey that they do the chemtrails over us, that they're releasing chemtrails over us?
I'm honest with you, I couldn't care less.
I was just wondering if you've heard, because
I-
I heard
I-
that
I
they
don't-
confirmed that. They
I
came out
don't
and
know.
said that.
Well, somebody will say yes, they have confirmed it. Somebody's going to say conspiracy theory, and
You don't care about
I'm in the. I really, out of all the things I care about, I let that one go right over my head.
I was just
And
wondering, when I heard
I-
that they
I-
said, yeah, we are, that
I
kind of blew
drink.
my mind.
I drink tap water.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. My
Yeah.
dog does too.
I'm just saying, there's, no, I don't care.
And she's spoiled rotten.
I know. One day I'm going to wake up and whatever happens from chemtrails is going to happen to me, and
If it's not in the
I'll
water,
deserve
it's
it.
in the chemtrails. It's not the chemtrails in the fertilizer in your grass. It's not the fertilizer in the grass. It's the Monsanto. It's like
well, you
Jesus.
better talk about how it affects cannabis growing, or we're going to
It's
not
a
be allowed to
shame.
talk about it, because this is an on-topic
It's a shame.
conversation.
It's a shame that cannabis can't be grown in its rawest form for Pennsylvania. I feel horrible.
Well,
about
it's a
that.
shame it can't be grown by patients in New Jersey as well.
I know that's right.
Did you know that was a provision in the original Senate bill that passed in 2009?
Yes.
Yes. A patient was supposed to be allowed to grow 6 plants and have up to
I come from
an
the South.
ounce or
That's all I
two.
know what to do is grow. I should be able to grow my own medicine and not
Well-
trust my health with somebody else. In somebody else's hands, my health is now in somebody else's hands. Why can't it just be in my own after my health got taken from me, being a victim of domestic violence? I shouldn't even
Yeah,
be
but
here.
That's a rhetorical question with no good answer.
I'm
The
just
thing is, though, what you should do is find ways where we can have that conversation with somebody with an opposite point of view, because the podcast would be so much more relevant, and people have reasons why. I've actually talked.
Well, I'm bringing people from other states next Thursday for you. John
Well,
420,
I
you're
mean-
watching right now. I hope you see
I mean,
Thursday.
somebody to say I disagree,
But no,
and,
he's
and
on
why?
our side.
There is an opposite point of view, because we're having a fight with people with an opposite point of view. We're trying to get the governor to come on the podcast.
I would love to speak to the governor. I would love to.
I would speak to a woman who works in the cafeteria who might be against this. I'm not sure.
You want me to play Harry Anslinger?
Anyone. I would like to talk to them because I'm just.
But have a rational conversation.
I could do Harry Anslinger's voice.
You want a chair?
You can very well.
But I like you said, I'm not one of these people that wants to just. I'm right, and I'm right, and I'm right, because I am right. But I would also hear why you think I'm wrong, because I want to know why you think I'm wrong, because that's part of the problem, why our bill is so messed up, why other states have it illegal. Down south in Mississippi, they have
You got to narrow it down. Got to narrow it down. If you're gonna actually have a conversation with somebody who's against it, the best thing you can do is keep it narrow.
Look at that billboard.
That's the third time or fourth time I've seen that billboard.
What do you think a truck like that costs to rent? That's pretty cool.
I don't know.
It's you can't see it. It's a billboard truck. A really thick, narrow truck of Chris Christie and Donald Trump. Didn't look flattering. I didn't see what it said.
It said help. I don't know what the bottom of it.
Does that mean help? Is that us saying help looking at them? Or is that them saying that they need our help?
I didn't catch the bottom.
That's good. That's the perfect summation, I must say. No need to be sorry. That's what that billboard's worth.
Oh, this presidential race. Brr.
I don't think cannabis is being discussed enough at this level of the primaries now. It was when everybody was on stage. Did you ever smoke pot? Did you ever smoke?
Yeah, when they wanted to do their background checks and they wanted to go to college years. Yeah, everybody wanted to talk about pot then.
Yeah, but as you know, the next president has the power to roll back or not impede and let nature take its course or support cannabis legalization. They're going to let the states go on with why we are the United States.
And look at D.C., right, where our fathers, our founding fathers sat. They hand out seeds on a regular basis to the people that live there in their community to encourage it, because that cuts down on the crime, that cuts down on the backdoorism, that cuts down on everything that's negative involved. If they just say, hands down, here, we're going to cut it all out. Here's seeds. If you want to grow it, learn yourself, get a book, educate yourself. It's your job to medicate yourself.
Learn today.
What's wrong with that?
Well, as long as patients who physically can't have a patient who can help them, or anybody, nothing's wrong with it.
I mean, look at alcohol.
And even if something was wrong with it, it's risk-benefit. All right, let's assume there's going to be something wrong with that. It's never going to come close to outweighing or matching or even comparing to all the good. It's risk-benefit. It doesn't matter. If everything they said about cannabis was true, which it's not, but if it was true, it still should be legal because the benefits would still outweigh everything that's even a lie about it.
Because look what's in it. I mean, I've never in my life seen a drug dealer that's allowed to have a bright neon sign that says open 24 hours. Come get whatever you need. If you got an itch, we can cure it. You got an ache, we can give you something for it. You got a rash, we'll take 4 of these and call me in the morning.
You know what drug dealers don't do? They don't card. They don't card. Illegal drug dealers do not card.
And it's a shame that people are forced to go to illegal drug dealers for
here's
a
a
plant.
story I heard that I thought was very interesting about the festival they have in Boston every year. Some years back, a couple of 16-year-olds were interviewed for a newspaper, and what it was that they were doing. They were brought joints to try to trade for beer because they couldn't get beer. Now, what does that tell you? Just what we're saying, that because it's not regulated in any way, they had no trouble. They had no trouble doing that. What they couldn't get was beer.
Well, my sperm donor died of alcoholism, and he was drinking beer till he was in the ICU. What does that tell you?
Well, it tells you, okay, that tells you beer is no good, but my point isn't whether or not it's good, because we all know it's not. My point would be that the regulation of beer is what kept them from getting it. So if it's regulated.
I'm sorry. Can we go back a second? You said your sperm donor?
Yeah.
No.
My real father was an officer, a Chicago police officer, but my sperm donor, you know, the dad that wasn't there.
That just stuck right in your head, right? That net in the middle of the head.
But you know, if he I know I don't know a lot about him, but the one thing I do.
I saw the perplexed look for like a minute.
Is my mom said to me one day, she said, "Your father used to say the same thing, Jesse Nicole," and I was like, what? And you know what I had just said? I said, Mom, you smoke those cigarettes, you drink that black coffee, and just because you don't drink alcohol and go to church on Sunday, you think it's all right? That's not good for you. I'd much rather smoke some weed than I would go and take all this medication for my anxiety and for my bones broken up and
Golf
the
clap.
titanium
Golf
in
clap.
me. And for a church-going woman to look at me and say
Seal clap.
that she should, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me how you can look at your own flesh and blood and say, oh, I'd rather you quietly go to your purse and take this medicine because your doctor says it's okay, but yet it's killing your liver, it's no good for you, it's making you look shrivel up like a bean, it gives you no will to live.
Your kidneys are all banged out now.
Yeah, but it's more politically correct, and you can do it quietly in a corner where nobody can see you. But until, I mean, I'm hard-headed. I would never have this happen to me, but I'm less than 1% of the population. Most people are going to not take what the doctor tells them to take. They're going to take more, and they're going to take more, and then they're going to move to something stronger. And the next thing you know, they get a full-blown addiction that affects not only them, but everyone in their family, their neighbors they're stealing from, whoever it is they go to school with, their roommate. It affects everyone. Opiate addiction, narcotic addiction, no matter where you get it from, whether it be a street corner or a CVS, it is not okay. It is not okay. And if you have something holistic, I don't even think marijuana should be classified and scheduled the way it is. It should be rescheduled. It should be looked at as something like, shit, I don't know. Let me think. What do you think? I can't compare it to anything because it's just pure. It has so many different benefits, both the male side as far as industrial with thread, making clothes. Henry Ford made an entire car out of industrial hemp. You can Google it. He's got pictures of him trying to hit it with a sledgehammer and it won't even dent. But then that means you're not going to the emergency room and once again feeding the machine of the pharmaceutical and doctor system. Rawr. Can you tell I've been influenced and touched by those stupid doctors? I'm a walking paycheck to them, and because I walked in there and told them 3.5, going on 4 years almost now, nope, I'll do it. They said I wouldn't be walking. I think I'm walking. I hurt pretty bad, but I walk pretty well. Turn the music on loud, and I kind of forget about the pain. As long as I have my medical marijuana. Without that, I would not be walking, 100%.
That's true.
The nausea from the pain alone would keep me indoors, laid on the couch, and hugging a toilet. And what about people that have cancer? My God, the treatments that they do have to go through, the nausea they experience. Cannabis is the #1 nausea-treating element for them. And Marinol is not the same.
No.
Now, what's this march going on? What are they doing with this march?
They're going to be marching down the street very soon.
Here, I'm going to grab a granola bar real quick.
I believe they're going to be starting very soon. Right now there's a big cloud of smoke over the Weed Man's joint. A huge, huge cloud of smoke. And if you're lucky enough to be down there, you can actually get stoned for free by just walking through that cloud of smoke. You can actually go down to the Weed Man's joint with no money and get high just by walking past the place because there's so much smoke down there. And as you walk up State Street, yes.
Yes, praise the Lord. Let me get my water.
There'll be more cannabis smoke up and down State Street. There's going to be about over 1,000 people here smoking cannabis legally. Some maybe illegally. I don't know, but I will be smoking legally. I know Jesse's smoking legally. I know James smoking legally. Who else is smoking legally?
I should be smoking.
There's a few smoking legally. Actually, here's my joint. I got my joint right here, Jesse. Here. Smoking this down.
Can we smoke right here?
Why don't we ask the officer?
No.
No. Okay. Listen. No, Jim will yell at me. We know the answer to that question, Jesse,
Lefty?
and we know we can't smoke.
You remember what happened last time?
Cannot
We were
smoke
around
weed
them
here.
officers?
We're not allowed to
What
smoke
happened
weed.
with my voice? How loud was it last time we were around them?
Harumph.
Love me a Star Crunch.
What are you doing?
Eat the Star Crunch.
I love when you crumble plastic on the show, on the microphone. That's almost as cool as when you chew on the microphone. Yeah. Great. Crumble plastic and chew on the microphone. Okay. We're at that point of the show.
Actually, my sugar's low. I need to medicate.
I'm with you.
So, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone right now.
I think we should give a call to
I would just like
joint.
to give a shout out to the good Lord for giving us this beautiful day.
James, you're going to say something? Say it on the mic. I know you're going to say something. I can't hear you. I can't hear a word you say. Talking to the mic.
I said, if you want to call somebody, call Joanne Zito. I know she was up there. I saw her. I said hi and drove by.
Advertise for the dispensary.
There you go.
Get on the microphone.
What do you got there?
We have this beautiful lady that
new
you can only see the back of her head.
What is
She's
that?
an angel.
Doesn't
She
really
works
wanna
for
be on the
Compassionate Science, my
microphone.
dispensary.
Oh, come on the mic. I want to hear it.
I
Grab the
know.
mic, grab the mic.
She's
Get
a
you
little
some
leery
headphones
of
on.
that.
I want to go there. I want to make an appointment. Can I call them right
It's
now?
just our little show. You better get
Yeah,
on
come
here.
on the mic.
It's just
I'll
our little-
call them right now if you come on mic.
She's
Why?
No, you won't. No, you
legally
won't.
she can't.
You can't? You can't
Look,
talk?
turn your head backwards. They don't need to see who you
But
are.
I
No,
can-
this way. Turn
You're
it to me.
anonymous.
What
So
she's
they can't see
showing you
The camera's here.
is
Yeah, look
for
at my
new
face. You'll be fine.
patients. New
They can't see
patients
it.
to go to this dispensary, which is Compassionate
This dispensary
Science,
is the best in the
one
state.
Belmar.
They're the nicest and the coolest.
They're giving a
Actually,
$10
I'm going to
off
Snapchat
each
Gretchen
quarter
right
for
now.
New patients for Compassionate Sciences.
I'm going to call them right now. Actually,
Get him on the phone.
the parade's coming, but
Yeah, the parade's right there.
I can't do it right
Compassionate
now.
Science is by far got the best product, best medicine. They have the best prices.
Their cookies are fantastic.
I'm going to try to hold that camera,
Hey, Gretchen.
but
we're
with
giving you
a
shout out on the
10-second
show for
delay, you
Compassionate
won't be able
Science.
to tell me if there's no way to look through and know what I'm saying. So I'm going to do that. I'll hold on to the mic in case I have something really intelligent to say. Oh, can we get music on?
Good?
Well, they want to hear music. They want to, trust me, they want to be hearing music.
Yeah?
Yes. There's nothing.
Really?
Yes.
All
Can't
right.
get the reefer man on?
All right.
Can you?
If you say so.
How long will it take?
Whatever you say, Jim.
Please.
You're the boss.
How long will it take?
What do you mean, how long will it take?
Reefer man.
Reefer man?
Yes.
Give me a minute.
How long?
Hang on.
Slow down. Wait for reefer man. Don't walk so fast. Mosey. Yeah, they're going to want to hear.
Why, what smacked this cat here? What do you mean he's high? Full of weed? Why, what is this cat anyway? The reefer man? Why, look at that dog. It looks like he's losing his mind. He lost his mind? Come on, let's get away from here then.
No way.
All right, here they come. Here they come. Yeah.
Free the weed.
Free the weed.
It should be
Free the
medicine.
weed. Free the weed. Yeah.
It should be
Look
medicine.
at these stoners. Look at this. I've never seen so many high people in my life. This is amazing.
If this is what dangerous people look like, I love dangerous
this
people.
is great. I love this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. A bunch of potheads, a bunch of patients, a bunch of people celebrating
God
freedom.
bless everybody
Freedom.
here. Happy 420.
Yeah.
Woo! Cannabis is medicine, baby. Wake up, America. Hey, guys. Happy 420.
Yo, Joanne Zito in the house. Yeah.
The woman right there.
Phil Charles in the house.
Cannabis does heal, my man. Cannabis heals a lot.
Free the weed man.
Free the weed man.
What's up with the weed man? Is he locked
Where's
up
the weed
still?
man? What happened to weed man?
411 him.
They locked the weed man up yesterday. So everybody send some love out to the weed man. On 3, we're gonna do a free the weed man chant. 1, 2, 3. Free the weed man!
Wow. Karen in the house. Hi, Karen.
Stay, Papa. No, Papa.
Huh?
Stay.
I don't care.
Sorry, baby. That's my dog.
You want to tell people to do stuff? Get on that mic and tell them. Yo, what's up? Happy 420, everybody. Yeah.
Happy 420. Cannabis should be fully legal in all forms for everybody, and it should also be educated and regulated only in the form of you should be old enough and know.
I got mine, you got yours. Smoke them if you got them, roll them if you don't.
Yes, smoke always.
Yeah. Can we smoke
Reefer
here? No.
man,
We got to smoke across the street.
Have you ever found that funny reefer? Ken, the man.
Ken Wolski in the house.
He is the man.
Michael Chaz
Right
in
there.
the house. Jason Arnold in the house.
So good to see so many beautiful people and not one negative vibe.
Alfredo.
Look at that.
Alfredo's here. And Ella. Alfredo and Ella here. Yes. Hello. Oh, this is great. This is great. This is like a rave.
It's great.
I've been to raves that weren't as cool as this. Seriously. This is better than any
It's
rave
beautiful.
I've ever been.
You don't see hate, you don't see
No,
color,
man.
you don't see
No,
crime. It's just a bunch of people talking about a plant. Look at that miracle in progress. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
I hope everybody that's here today calls your local legislature. Tell them. If we just come out on 420 because it's a national holiday, we'll never get anywhere. We have to do this every day until we can all have gardens and we can be like, yo, look at mine. Look at yours. Oh, yours is beautiful.
Look at mine.
And we can start healing people.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
There's no money in a cure. Remember that every time you hit that CVS up, they just want to keep you sick.
I'll show you my garden if you show me your garden.
I thought you were talking about that. I was like, don't.
Well, I'm talking about cannabis.
I didn't know you
What's
were
the matter
talking
with
about
you?
your garden.
What are you talking about?
I guess
Where's your
because we
head at?
can't have gardens, it's like a bad word in this state. I don't know. I still get hives when I think about it.
Where are you going? We're live, man.
Do I smell or something?
We're live internationally. We're here with Michael Chaz. What's up, Michael Chaz? How are you,
What's
buddy?
up, Lefty? I'm doing fantastic. Happy 420.
Happy 420, dude.
Yeah, you know, it's even fun down here when you don't smoke.
You're not smoking?
No.
Why?
No, it's a, lifestyle decision. I'm ready for the change.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because, everybody knows that cannabis prohibition was motivated racially to keep people apart.
By who?
Well, for the sake of our listeners, Harry Anslinger.
Harry Anslinger.
Anslinger, of
Harry
course.
Anslinger. Yeah, I remember that guy.
If you've never heard about Harry Anslinger, look him up on Wikipedia. I think even that source will call
He's a
him
real jerk
racist.
off.
Yeah, you basically created lies to keep people apart. But no, ironically, not everybody really understands that that cannabis is non-toxic, that where the racial motivation for its prohibition came from. And so I've decided to enter into politics. I'm going to take my activism to the next level. I want to represent people. I want to enter into the government machine so that I can try to affect change for this issue and many other issues from the inside. And some people just will not listen to you if they think that you're someone who imbibes.
No,
So ironically, although I got into it because I thought that it was immoral to separate people racially with it, and I still believe that, but for myself, because I want to reach out to people who don't necessarily understand about our issue yet, I think it's important that I refrain, because then I'll be able to communicate my message to those people. So I'm afraid it's going to be a while. I don't intend on changing my mind ever. It's not a hiatus. This is it'll be a long time.
Dr. Lester Grinspoon told me a kind of funny story one day. He was about 44 or so, and he asked somebody, the prosecutor, that he was an expert witness for the defense. So he was asking the prosecutor, he said, I don't smoke marijuana. Would it make a difference if I did? And the guy said, no, it wouldn't make a difference at all. I mean, to him. Now, you're talking about a public perception.
Exactly.
You're exactly right.
Exactly.
But he was carrying that over to that particular thing, and when he said no, then Dr. Grinspoon and his wife went out on their first weekend where they experimented. But you're exactly right. First of all, saying, yes, you've had positive experiences with cannabis and you're not partaking now because you're running for office tells me that it's not a big deal to not smoke. And aren't you breaking out in cold sweat? No, I mean, really, how hard was it's when
it was not difficult at all.
It was like me being in the
say,
hospital for 29 days. I didn't realize for a week and a half I hadn't smoked pot.
It was easier than quitting coffee, I'll tell you that.
There
and
you go.
A lot easier than quitting tobacco.
Yeah. So, but running for office also, you'll have success whether you win the election or not, simply by getting whatever issues you hold important out.
And so this is a very important issue for me, not just because I've been a cannabis activist for all of the reasons that I have, but up in my town, heroin is becoming a huge problem. And as you both know about the American Medical Associations and the studies they have, is it states with robust medical programs or just that study?
Well, the study with first 13 states, because they had their laws in place by 2010, which is when the study wrapped
up. And in those states that had those medical marijuana programs in, they saw a 25% reduction in opioid deaths.
Yes, after a year. And at the end of the first year, they saw an immediate 20% reduction, and it kind of, with Alaska going over 50%.
And so that's hugely important. I mean,
yeah, usually, isn't it? I mean, it's sort of like
we have, in my town, everybody's, banging their heads together trying to figure out what to do about this epidemic. And I am convinced, and the American Medical Association's findings confirm, that legalizing cannabis is part of the solution to our heroin problem. So I'm here, and I'm abstaining, and I'm still preaching that message so that people who are averse to cannabis might listen.
I have a story about Maine. Maine is the first state that's going to okay medical pot. Legalize cannabis for opiate addiction and illegal narcotics. Wow, nearly 30 medical marijuana caregivers and patients told state regulators at a public hearing that marijuana eases symptoms of opioid withdrawal and offers a healthier alternative to prescription painkillers that can lead to addiction.
When they say alternative too, though, that's true. But it's also a good, as in what's called an adjunct medicine. You don't have to have either or. That, to put it simply, the synergistic effect proven in gold standard studies is if you needed 10 units of cannabis for pain relief without an opiate, and you needed 10 units of an opiate for pain relief without cannabis, you might need 2 units of each, not 5. Doesn't total 10 all of a sudden. So you have an 80% reduction in your opiate use for as good or better relief, and you have a reduction for those who don't want to get high. I know, it's hard for people to believe. There's people who hurt that don't want to get high getting unhurt. But if you got a little bit of opiates and a little bit of cannabis, you really wouldn't get that kind of high that people are afraid of, And, they told me at the hospital, even when it comes to the opiates, don't worry about what it's going to do. You want to get rid of the pain. And for a certain degree, that's correct. But the idea that what you're talking about is we can lower the overdose death rate due to opiates by 25% if we included neuropathic and chronic pain in our law. That not including it is responsible for one-fifth of the overdose deaths on opiates. Not having that is responsible. So what does that make somebody culpable of? Not legally, that stands in the way of using cannabis for pain medically. Now, most people here don't need permission to use cannabis for their pain or for whatever. That's why everybody's here today. It's pretty special being around like-minded individuals that carry out ways to the same goal differently, but that we are all going the same direction. And I like seeing it. I don't see any problems. I don't see any.
It's the one thing that we can all agree on.
Some people don't agree. The representatives of Maine's medical establishment spoke in opposition, saying that there is no scientific evidence backing up claims that marijuana effectively treats addiction. So there you go.
Okay, well, this is like
case
saying,
closed. Sorry.
Now, in the broad sense that they're going to want to draw somebody into is the semantics of no studies. What's a proper gold standard, gold seal?
It's
study?
anecdotal. It's anecdotal, Jim.
Yeah, but no, even when it's studies, the studies won't be good enough.
No,
but I would
never.
I would suggest that if they are not willing to talk about the fact that up until this year, National Institute of Drug Abuse did not allow studies for medical benefits by virtue of not releasing the only cannabis legal in this country to do a gold standard study. They would not release it. So for those who want to hide behind, there's no studies, I would assume that you want studies, because when the studies are done and prove that it doesn't work, good for you. But guess what's going to happen? That's not what's going to be shown. I asked Terry Farley, the late Terry Farley, so I'm not going to say nothing bad about him because he died last year, but I asked him 10 years ago, head of the narcotics strike force of Ocean County and the first assistant prosecutor leading the anti-medical and marijuana crusade, I told him that we should be the first two signatories of a petition to fast-track the studies immediately so he could prove that it isn't as effective as he said it isn't.
And did he sign right away?
He looked at me like, what are you kidding? I'm not going to do that. And I say, I know. It's about courage and convictions. But my point is for and against, we should want the studies, but now they are being done. It's too late soon to even say that. But I'm glad to see that. You know, I look around, and I asked this question a couple of days ago. Who here smoked marijuana in 1970?
No, you got me.
All right.
You got me.
Sorry, Jim.
In 1970, I'm looking at a couple of hands here. All right. I'm just saying, we're still here. We're not going on to harder drugs, smiling pretty damn good. So I think we should have some standing just by saying I'm part of a longitudinal study, a lifelong study. You know, I'm doing good as I can be by my standards.
I want to sign this thing. It's a cipher joint.
Look at that.
I got the cipher joint in my hand. Yo, man. This thing's going to travel the whole East Coast, bro.
Now, where did that start out?
This
Tell
is
us
so
about
cool.
this.
It started in Maine.
Maine, right? Oh, man. Come on. This is great. Kyle, what's up, buddy? Do we have a mic that we just... Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, of course we do.
Kyle, here. Come here. First of all, come sit down here.
Yeah,
Kyle
get
Moore.
over here.
What's going on? Don't worry, you're good.
No, I'm good. I'm here helping Lefty podcast.
Yeah, we wanna hear you.
I didn't organize. I didn't do anything. I'm enjoying being a participant, and I'm loving it.
Me
So
too.
sit down and let me be a participant.
You're going to be a speaker?
Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
Set up the microphone?
There's a mic right here. Just grab this white microphone right here. There you go.
We're speaking today?
Yeah. I don't have a stand. I'm sorry. I'm a stoner. I forgot the stand. I forgot one thing today, and that was the mic stand. So, deal. Deal. As I do. As I do with my own cannabis problems. Actually, I have no problems. I just forget stuff.
Is that running out? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, running out of cannabis is a problem. I hate running out. And I hate when my joint goes out, too. And I hate when I have no lighter to light this thing. Who has a lighter? I need to smoke some. The only thing I can't smoke right here because I'm going to get in trouble. So I can't smoke here. But I will. Oh, we're going to get in trouble. Are we in trouble? Am I in trouble already? I didn't do it. I didn't light it. I didn't light it. It's not going to go far. I swear I didn't light it. Uh-oh. Let me sign my name here. Lefty Grimes. Lefty G. How do you spell Grimes? G-R-I-M-E-S. Okay. Okay, you can come and arrest me now. I didn't like this, I swear. Can I have a light? What are the parameters? I have to be across the street, right? Smoke this? In the street, I have to be off the border of the sidewalk there? Is it NFL rules or soccer rules? Where does the joint have to be? Does the joint have to be over the border? Or where does the joint have to be? Which side of the border? Can my body be on this side of the border and the joint over there? Can I visit Pennsylvania with this joint and put the joint over here? And I don't know these rules anymore. It doesn't make sense. My conditions don't change because I cross a border. I'm still sick. I'm still a sick person over the Pennsylvania border. I don't get it. Like, what do they want me to do? Well, smoke your weed at home, they say. Well, okay. Well, I have to leave my house to get food. What, do I have to just stay home the rest of my life now? I'm a little shut-in. I'm a marijuana shut-in. I don't want to be a marijuana shut-in. I want to be free. I want freedom. I want to be a marijuana freedom. Yeah, man. I want freedom. It smells like freedom around here. I smell freedom. I smell a lot of freedom out there. I'm loving that. That's pretty loud. That's some loud freedom you got there. You ready? Vanessa, here we go. Vanessa, everybody, pay attention. Pay attention. Or she will.
All right, folks, do you want to gather on this side so you can see better? Welcome to Trenton State House and happy 420! My name is Vanessa Maria, and I am the founder and coordinator of the East Coast Cannabis Coalition. And welcome to our March to the State House and third annual 420 Rally for Legalization. This is my colleague and fellow co-organizer, Kyle Moore.
Hey guys, happy 420. Thanks for all coming out for our third annual 420 Smokeout. We have never had arrests here, so I'm so proud of you all coming out in support again to prevent arrests. And let's all give a hand of applause to Vanessa Maria for again organizing this rally for us.
I wasn't the only one. There's a whole group of us working in New Jersey and all over the East Coast in support of cannabis legalization and wanting to end the drug war. We have these rallies and events not because we think that's the thing that's going to convince President Obama to remove cannabis from the Schedule 1 list. We know it doesn't convince Governor Christie from signing any legalization bills. But we hold these events so that we can meet like-minded people, we can share ideas, network, and work on future projects together. And since we've been doing these events for the last 3 years, I'm proud to say that the East Coast Cannabis Coalition was something born out of these rallies, and now the East Coast Unity Cypher. Where's the giant joy torch at? So we created a campaign to create more awareness about all the people doing grassroots activism on the ground on the East Coast states, because much of the news and information about cannabis legalization is about West Coast states and all the money they're making. And we kind of feel left out over here on the East Coast because people are still getting arrested. 25,000 people in the state of New Jersey got arrested last year for cannabis. And that actually went up from 20,000. So this joint torch was created in Baltimore by our friend Kevin Cranford of Maryland Normal. And that's right, give it up for Kevin for making this nice science. See, stoners are productive. And we sent it to Portland, Maine. And it went from Portland, Maine to New Hampshire to Vermont to Boston, Massachusetts to Connecticut. We were in New York City yesterday with it. At the UN General Assembly special session on the world drug problem. So we had a nice little rally outside of the UN. And it will go to our friends in Philly later on today. And then we have some Delaware folks here. They will take it to Delaware later on this evening. It'll be in Delaware tomorrow. It will be in Baltimore on Friday. And Saturday it will be in Washington, D.C. for the National Cannabis Festival. And it will go all the way down to Miami. And all the people here that have signed the torch are organizers, people that are working to end the drug war. So let's not get crazy here in New Jersey. Leave some space for all the southern states and let them sign it. But today we have a nice little rally here for you. We have a ton of speakers who are going to share their stories with you, their experience with cannabis, their experience with cannabis activism. And we hope to inspire you today to get involved in our movement, to spread the word, to stop all these lies and misinformation about cannabis, and to let our governor know that we ain't going anywhere. We're here to stay. And we're going to keep bothering him and keep coming to his state house until he legalizes cannabis. So put your hands together. Let's get this party started. Happy 420. Our first speaker is Phil Charles, also known as Flip Marley. He is the executive producer of Fully Baked Radio, a radio show designed to share information about cannabis and highlight local artists. He's also part of the East Coast Cannabis Coalition. He's a joint boy and manager of The Joint. Give it up for your Trenton local, Phil Charles.
Thank you, everybody. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it real. Yeah, joint boys rule. marijuana rules too. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Around this time, like 2 years ago, I started like I guess what you call my cannabis activism. And it just started from me just getting tired of getting arrested for weed. You know what I mean? Like I never did anything crazy or got arrested for any other thing but weed. You know, and it ruined my record. Thankfully, I was still able to still have a stable life or somewhat of a stable life. You know what I mean? But throughout the years, like it went from me being arrested to like meeting other people and realizing like it could really help and change people's lives. So it transpired from me to like the masses that are out here and the ones that can't even come, you know. So my message to you guys is no matter what the reason is for you to get like more involved in the marijuana movement, whether it's being arrested, one of your friends or family has cancer or is sick or ailing, or you just want to know more, you want to change the laws for the better, just use that as your reason to get more involved. If you want to find out more information, you can always come down to the New Jersey Weedman's joint. We have tons of things happening down there all the time. We got a great crowd, and we love to educate people there. So, something was 420 on 420. So, if you ain't got them, roll them. And
Free the weed man.
And before I go, can't forget we don't have our L captain with us today, New Jersey Weedman. So. Once again, I want to say free the weed, man. And word, free the weed, man. You know what I mean? And let's smoke up and enjoy this 420.
And as we would say, fuck the law. All right, we're sending much love to our comrade, our prisoner of war, the New Jersey Weed Man, but we're going to hold it down for him anyway. Our next speaker is Joanne Zito. And I met her here at the weekly State House protests, and now she's one of our fearless co-organizers at the East Coast Cannabis Coalition, and we're both on the board of directors for the Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey. She's a former prisoner of war herself, grower, and a mother. Give it up for Joanne Zito.
Thank you guys for coming out today. Thank you for being freedom fighters, and yes. And yeah, I'm here wearing kind of many hats today, as Vanessa said. Here for East Coast Cannabis Coalition, and yeah, and our joint torch tour, which I had the liberty this morning to take on a Liberty cruise with fellow CMMNJ board member Amanda Panda over there, and my daughter Amaris, she's around here somewhere. But it was pretty interesting, and to see it at the UN yesterday and go to the Drug Policy Museum was a very moving experience. It makes events like this bittersweet, celebrating and also thinking about everybody that is locked up right now for cannabis and drug crimes and the offenses. They're not crimes. And I'm glad we're here today to support getting them out. So also I'm here for CMMNJ. I would like to announce that the Department of Health just created a committee to try to expand the qualifying conditions to be accepted into the medical marijuana program of New Jersey. And we're also looking for stories. Yes. We're also looking for stories for people who are looking to become patients, so that we can get the Department of Health working with us and petition them. Your stories, you can go to cmmnj.org, and also on Facebook we have a friends page and also our regular page. But yeah, as far as the state of the medical marijuana program in New Jersey, it's not very good. It is unaffordable, and on top of being unaffordable, and thankfully they're looking into qualifying conditions, but many people don't qualify because of the cost, the price, and on top of that. Just to have to travel to go to dispensaries. There's only 5 in the state of 8 million people, 9 million people. So yeah, it's not acceptable. Taxing medicine, it's the only medicine taxed in New Jersey, and that's also unacceptable. They did open a fifth dispensary, which thankfully has created a little bit of price competition, which is good, and also variety and quality, and also educational resources, which some are, finally getting to see, like, what people really need. It's really medicine, and people really need it. And the state should be here to support our people, the sickest among us. And also, I am here to. NJ Weedman told me to give everybody a shout out. I'm also here I didn't get to post on Facebook today because I was on a Liberty cruise, but if you could please support the joint. Any donations will be welcome. The party there is free today, but if you could give a donation, that would be great, especially for all my beautiful friends here that work there. And lastly, I'm here to represent John Pedito, who is serving 8 years in prison for growing cannabis in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. He wrote a letter for his speech, and I'm going to read that now. He says, right now, the pharmaceutical industry in this country has created the worst addiction epidemic this nation has ever known. In every town, county, and state, let's start with the doctors leading the way by overprescribing pain medication, lining up their patients who are sure to be coming back for their fix. And it's all legal, FDA approved. No one will ever go to prison. The entire pharmaceutical industry, medical industry, should be ashamed. They should be prosecuted and jailed. But no, they're just doing their jobs, all legal, all FDA approved. They're not responsible. Everyone gets rich. Marijuana, cannabis, the so-called gateway drug to heroin, has now been demoted off this list, but very few people know this. How could this be? 80% of all heroin addicts using right now became addicts from using pain medication called Percocet. Percocet is a heroin pill, exactly the same, heroin in pill form. The main difference between Percocet, Vicodin, and heroin is the price. The pharmacist's version are far more expensive than their illegal counterpart. During a congressional hearing last year, which I watched live on C-SPAN, dealing with the heroin epidemic in the U.S., I discovered these facts. It shocked me. The gateway drug to heroin is Percocet, Vicodin, pain pills, not marijuana, cannabis. When marijuana was mentioned, reluctantly, the panel of drug experts on this committee had to admit marijuana was basically off the list of gateway drugs. Again, another shocker, but no surprise because it's true. The hearing and these facts have gone completely unnoticed by the press, of course. They're therefore never reaching the public. The term gateway drug applied to cannabis has forever been changed and proven untrue by the U.S. Congress on the record. And yet my own judge in my case sentenced me to prison on this false and inaccurate fact, along with many others, 6 months ago. Good Americans are being jailed based on these lies from the past. Cannabis is a plant, not a drug. The people growing it are not drug manufacturers or dealers. They are gardeners and botanists. Get it straight. The drug manufacturers and dealers in this country are doctors, pharmacists, and the pharmaceutical industry, stringing this country out on an endless variety of chemical cocktails they call medicine. Medications riddled with dangerous and deadly side effects. Broadcasting the sales of these drugs over your TV screen 24/7, it's a national disgrace. Their drugs kill. They tell you this with a happy smile on their faces. We all see and hear it, but do nothing. It's all legal. Cannabis, which of course never tallied a single death, is not just not seen on our TV, but still remains in the eyes of the CDC, FDA, and politicians as one of the deadliest substances on earth. I'm done, people. I'm tired of it all. So I will leave you with these thoughts. Cannabis is a plant that grows naturally upon this earth. It's a fast-growing annual that is safe to touch and handle. It has thousands of uses, all positive, productive, and healing. It presents no danger to humans at all, at any stage in its development. It can be consumed by humans of all ages. Its structural perfection is only matched by its usefulness. Historically speaking, this has all proved to be true. Cannabis helped found this great nation along with many other important crops, just as the father of our country, George Washington. Congress, judges, prosecutors have all lost their minds, along with their community-destroying policies. They are a disgrace to this great nation and destroyers of good, peaceful American families across the country. Sorry, I didn't get to print the rest of it. It's kind of, he says he has chicken scratches. So let's bury the lies of the past about the cannabis plant. Move on. Let intelligence and common sense take over. Fight these insane laws that to the end and do not stop. Because they won't stop ever. Locking up your sons and daughters is a business for these people, a way of life which they will never let go of ever, ever. Reality is what it is, not what they want it to be. Cannabis is a beautiful, useful, harmless plant, and it's here to stay. End of story. John Pedito.
Again, let's give it up for John Pedito, prisoner of war in a state penitentiary, being locked away for 8 years for growing 17 cannabis plants in the Pine Barrens. That is an outrage. We should all have a major problem with incarcerating and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars putting these innocent people away for a plant, and we're not going to stand for it anymore. We're tired of these laws. Mandatory minimum sentences are bullshit. And they're designed to make money for prisons and pharmaceutical companies. It's important to include the voices of the people behind bars because we have hundreds of thousands of people in the United States. We have 25% of the world's prison population. That is really ridiculous. You need to keep telling people that. They don't realize that we have most of the world's prisoners, more than any other developed country. And most of those people are incarcerated for nonviolent drug offenses, and it's wrong. So our next speaker is another medical cannabis patient. He is the producer and host of the Sativa Cross podcast, and he's also a member of the Coalition for Medical Marijuana. Give it up to Lefty Grimes.
Thanks, Vanessa. All right, welcome everybody. Happy 420. My name's Lefty Grimes. I with sativacross.com. I got my medical marijuana card a couple years ago after being on opiates for 10 years. I was on 90 milligrams of roxicodone every 3 hours, and it was a lot of misery in my life. So I got my medical marijuana card, and I got a camera, and we started going to police stations, smoking weed at police stations. With Chuck Kwiatkowski and Wayne and all these crazy guys. A lot of you out there have been with us. And the reason why we do this, people say, well, Lefty, don't poke the bear. You're going to get in trouble. Don't do that. Well, you know what? They're coming after you anyway. They're going to come after you whether you have a card or not. You might as well fight back and play offense. We have a chance to play offense now, and that's what we're doing in New Jersey. We can do in New Jersey what nobody else can do around the country is smoke weed at police stations. Nobody else in the country can smoke weed at police stations. Can you believe that? The one good thing about our law, one good thing, smoking weed at friggin' police stations. Really? They let kids die, but we can smoke weed at police stations. Okay. Doesn't make sense. But the reason why we do this is because patients are being arrested. My friend Scott has a card. He went to the police because he was stabbed in the chest. And the police arrested him for having cannabis. And he's a patient. And they were more interested in getting his cannabis than the blood that they're walking through in his house. They walked through the blood to get to his cannabis. It was ridiculous. Carol is a terminally ill patient in Lodi. They broke into her house. They took her car, her cannabis, her computer, her money. She lost her house. She lost her job. They took everything from her, and they said, okay, now fight to get your stuff back. After they took everything from her. So we went up to Lodi and helped her, and we smoked weed at that police station. Put pressure on them. We got her bongs back a few months later. She walked out of that police station with a box full of bongs, man. It was great. It was great. Carol Millman. Carol Millman's awesome. So, yeah, we keep doing what we're doing, and we have about 200 more police stations to go to. If you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. We have a request list. That's pretty huge, but we'd love to join you, for you to join us. Come to sativacross.com. Look us up on Facebook, Lefty Grimes on Facebook. Now, one thing I'm doing wrong here is I usually am supposed to build up to a crescendo and get you all fired up. But actually, I'm going to do the exact opposite of that because we end each show with a moment of silence because of all the patients that are dying, like Sabina Rose, like little Gracie in Pennsylvania, like Marie in Pennsylvania, like all the people that are going to die waiting for their cannabis in Pennsylvania. There's still people waiting. There's still people dying. And it's no joke. And we end each show with a moment of silence, and something is written in stone down the street here at the memorial. And we never knew that. And it's called the Ode of Remembrance, written in World War I. And it goes like this. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Lefty and all the work he does. The Ignorance is No Excuse tour. It's pretty funny, actually. Go to YouTube and watch how many police have no idea what CUMA means, which is the Compassionate Use Medical Marijuana Act. They have no idea. So it's really important to expose them and educate them on what the laws are. Our next speaker is another person who has been actively involved with this movement, doing a lot of really good work here in New Jersey. Michael is also involved with the New Jersey Libertarian Party and New Jersey Normal. He also has a hemp business. Let's give it up for Michael Hazukoff.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. How we doing, Trenton? Happy 420, everybody. Yeah, right? Fantastic holiday. I hope you all enjoy yourselves today. But it's, 420. We need to make 420 every day, all right? Not just here, not just coming out and smoking in public and trying to tell people this is immoral, which, of course, I'm sure we all agree it absolutely is. Cannabis prohibition is immoral. And we all agree on that. And this is the message that needs to get out every single day. And there's tons of things that everybody here can be doing to make the movement move a little further, okay? This is great. This is a great start. Everybody can do a little bit. Some can do more than others. You can write letters to the editor of your local newspaper. You can write an email to your representatives. You can run for office. That's what got me involved with the Libertarian Party. I was a cannabis reform activist for 7 years, and I started to realize that this one issue affects a whole lot of other issues. People talk about mass incarceration. You talk about crony capitalism, income inequality. There's tons of issues, health issues. All can be solved by legalizing cannabis. And so this one issue, if you care about this, be careful. It's a gateway. You might become active in government. Then you'll be really useless. It's a gateway to caring about other people and to caring about other issues. I found the Libertarian Party because, they've been involved in supporting cannabis legalization since the 70s when Nixon declared the war on drugs. And through the 80s, through the Just Say No program. They've been there all along saying, no, this is not right. Prohibition is immoral. It took 12 years to get it straight with alcohol, But here we are begging the government to legalize cannabis after 75 years. It's been too long, wouldn't you agree? So I'm here today to ask you all, check out the Libertarian Party, okay? Because the Republicans and Democrats have had their time. Obama inhaled a lot. And nobody here thinks that his life would have been any better had he been thrown in prison. He might not have been president, you know? Governor Christie claims that he's pro-life before the life is born and after they're born. But not if you smoke cannabis. If you smoke cannabis, you're going to have to wait. And hey, we hope you make it until the wait is over. It's not acceptable. We're not taking it anymore. And so I'm upping my game, and I'd like you all to do the same. Check out the Libertarian Party. Talk to me if you want to know how you can get involved. If you want to write a letter, that's great. Everybody here has pre-written letters. All you got to do is put your name at the bottom and send it to your respective representative. We're all here. We all need to support each other. And I know that you will. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, one thing I like about the Libertarians is they believe in personal freedom. And personal freedom means you have the right to do what you want to your body and ingest whatever you want in your body without interference from the government. And I think we can all get down with that. Our next speaker is a very lovely woman I met at the joint who makes me smile all the time. Her name is Trinity. She hails from Harlem originally, but she's been living in Trenton the last few years, trying to make it better. Give it up for Trinity.
I love you, girl. All right, I'm cut from a different cloth. This is what happened. I was on Facebook, and I kept seeing free New Jersey weed man. So I'm like, wait, hold up. I just saw him the other day. He said, Trinity, you ready for 420? I said, hell yeah, I got something for their ass, because I don't understand why they bothering us. So the next thing I know, it says, free New Jersey weed man. I said, he locked up. How the fuck he, sorry, no, fuck that. How he get locked up for calming me down? Can you believe he calmed me down? So basically what I want to say is that everybody has a story. Everybody has a situation. And they try to tell me when I was on drugs, not marijuana, when I was on drugs, use your imagination, to stay away from the people, the places, and the things. So I said, well, how do I stay away from myself? I am the people, the places, and the things. All right, so this is what happened. I was going to, shout out to Greater Trenton, for medication to keep my anxiety, my depression, and my post-traumatic stress disorder and everything that's wrong with me by this medication that makes me want to go kill myself and make me want to do other things wrong. And then the weed man was standing right there, and he was like this tall. I said, I need to be your friend. I said, don't worry about these colors, this red, green, and gold I got on, because I had this before you got here, but I need to be your friend. He said, well, you know what? I need friends. I said, all right. So every day I was there. I was a landmark. Go in there, make a left on Trinity. I was there. Now it hurts me. I know this activism and all this. I'm just pro get better. Like, I mean, to me, like, weed ain't never make me sell myself. Weed ain't never make me steal nobody's TV. Weed ain't make me still do. Y'all know what you do. Y'all know what the hell you can do. Because I know what I've done, and everybody got a story. So all I'm saying that to say I don't appreciate them coming up in the Kumas with the sanctuary and just make him follow all his paperwork, do everything that he's supposed to do, and then you just want to walk up in there and tell me to leave from being happy. Why you mad? You mad because nobody fighting? You mad ain't nobody getting shot? You know what we doing? We getting better. So I just want to know, how can you stand there? No, I want to know, how can you know something is wrong and then continue to do it, but then tell me I'm doing something wrong for doing something right for myself? I don't know what else to say after that, but all y'all know, smoke till you choke, God damn it. Fuck the police.
That's what we need, that little fire coming from Trinity. This girl is fierce. She always makes me smile, I told you. Our next speaker is involved with the Anonymous movement. And he's been doing a lot to get involved in the cannabis industry because we have people in jail, we have medical patients, but we also have our ganjapreneurs here. There's not a lot of jobs in New Jersey. Christy, where are the jobs? We still trying. You know, I live in Jersey, but I have to cross the river into PA to get work. But what if weed were legal? We could all start our own businesses. We could grow, we can make products. There's a million things we could do. So give it up for Terry from Anonymous New Jersey, also known as Barack Oganja from Anonymous Hemp Sector.
Thank you, thank you. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if I should go ahead and talk. Okay, so my name is Terry Harris. The reason why I am famous for Anonymous Hemp Sector is because when I reached out to a member, I basically told him, hey, you know what, there's a school for medical marijuana, and he looked at me and said, you know what, you don't deserve to be a member, you deserve to be a distinguished member. And ever since then, I've just been telling people, hey, there's a school for medical marijuana where you can either build your own company or you can join the $42 billion a year industry already established. There's jobs, Christy, in the medical marijuana industry. You want them here in Jersey. There's a school, just so you know. Now, also, one thing I also wanted to, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Weed Man. He's been my hero. I started everything in his name, and then the Joint Boys have only been a motivation to me. One of the things that I also wanted to tell everybody is that I actually will be leaving soon, unfortunately, to go to D.C. and run my own dispensary that an investor finally wants to invest in me. So I'm out of here, but I couldn't leave Jersey unless I had it in secure hands, and I chosen one member of the Joint Boys. I would like to y'all to put your hands together for Ghost, my brother from another mother. Oh my God. Anonymous New Jersey. Mask up. You got something to say to the people? No? They already know. So yeah, if you wanted to know more about the school, information about Anonymous, Ghost has it. Coming down to the Joint. Oh, and one last thing. What was it? Oh, free the fucking Weed Man.
We need those ganjapreneurs because when it does become legal in NJ, those are the people that are going to giving us stuff, supplying it. We're going to get it from them, hopefully. Fuck these dispensaries. Our next speaker is a veteran, and currently on the medical cannabis program here, PTSD is not a qualifying symptom. And we really think that that should change because so many veterans are struggling with PTSD and are committing suicide at an alarming rate after serving our country. So let's give it up for Leo Bridgewater. He's a medical cannabis patient. He's a veteran, served his country. He's going to talk about legalization.
Thank you. All right. Before I say anything, before I get to talking and deliver my message, because that's what I have for you, is a message. Understand something. I was born and raised in Trenton, New Jersey. I graduated from Trenton High in 1994. I was a part of that class where they called us a zoo in the Trentonian. Okay? I remember that. Now, I just moved back to Trenton a year ago. From 1994 to a year ago, I've only been home 4 times. So Quaker Bridge Mall not having a movie theater is new news to me. To give you an idea. Now, what have I been doing in that 20-some-odd years? Right here, in my hand, I worked with the NATO training mission in Iraq. I've done 3 tours in Iraq as a soldier, 4 tours as a DoD contractor. I worked at the DA headquarters at the Pentagon for a couple of years. So to let you know that I am a decorated combat veteran, okay? I am used to giving briefings. I've worked directly for General David Petraeus when he was a 3-star, and I worked for Admiral Mike Mullins, who became chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff when he was a 4-star admiral. My job was to be the signal guy. I was the VTC guy. I was the guy who made sure that their communications array was good. And so I'm saying all this to let you know that I'm used to briefing high-level officials. It's just what I did. You know, and one of the things about those briefings is that my briefings were always absent of emotion. No matter how fucked up the numbers were, I had to give it to the man so he could make a decision. He has to know everything that's going on. And so I've been here a year, laying low, watching. This is my first time even exercising my citizen rights to be able to speak to it in a public forum. So I need you to bear with me for a minute. And the thing is that I've noticed how everyone is pointing and saying, talking to the police officers here and talking to, Governor Christie and everything like that. I don't want to do that. Because I'm going to tell you something. How many times does someone have to tell you they don't care about you in order for you to move on and stop talking to them? So the thing for me is the only thing I could think to do, the soldier in me, is to circumvent the governor, to circumvent the Trenton Board of City Council and the mayor and all that, and talk directly to the people. If you are not from Trenton, you can take this same message, strike Trenton out, and put your own hometown because it's the same thing. And someone has not talked to you directly. Trenton, I just found out Trenton broke its murder record not too long ago. I had no idea about the gangs. I was literally on the other side of the planet, so I was disconnected. Not locked up. I've never been arrested. I'm a good guy. I'm a regular dude. But something happened to me. Something very real happened to me. And what happened to me should become personal for every single one of you. And I hope you can hear the emotion in my voice as I tell you what happened to me. And what happened to me is I am 1 for 3, meaning I had 3 battle buddies attempt suicide. 1 didn't make it. No, I'm sorry, two were successful, 1 wasn't. I'm 1 for 3. So that means you are losing a couple of veterans a day. I'm not talking to the officials or none of them, because the only reason why they are in office is because either you voted for them or you didn't exercise your citizen responsibility by voting. As a soldier, I entrust you with sending me and putting the right people in charge. And I feel like I have been let down. It is insulting. It is quite insulting. And I take it on a personal level because, like I said, something happened to me. I wasn't raped as a child. I wasn't abused as a child. None of those things happened. None of those things, well, everything I'm saying to you, my anger is not born out of something that happened to me from a childhood experience. No. I'm one of yours. I'm one of your veterans. I'm one of the people that you sent to war. I'm one of them. That's what happened to me, and that's what happened to my friends. And I truly believe that if we had access to legal marijuana, that Chris would still be here, that Mike's stupid ass would still be here. I miss him. He was a dumbass to me. That's how friends. But y'all know he was a dumbass. He really was. But y'all would have loved him, though. He was funny as hell. And Sergeant Alvey, who's one of the finest soldiers I have ever had the honor to serve with, he's safe. He's still here. Praise Jesus. He is still here. He needs help, but he's still here. But he does not have, if they would have had access to them, I can't help but think maybe Mike and Chris would still be here. Maybe. Maybe it wouldn't have been such a close call with Sergeant Alvey. And the thing about it is that you don't even know to be embarrassed. In the city of Trenton, Trenton broke its murder record a couple of years ago, and so that tells me that there has yet to be a death that has galvanized the city to do anything about it. And we're talking kids and old people in this time frame. And it's still happening. So if you're not going to move for that, okay, well, there hasn't been a natural disaster that has galvanized the people to actually exercise their civil responsibility and hold these motherfuckers responsible and accountable. And when I say a natural disaster, how many floods have been here? How many blizzards have you had? And yet the streets are still fucked up. So that tells me that when you have less than 8% voting, then you don't have elections, you have popularity contests. And if you are in a position of power, it will behoove you to keep things as fucked up as they are, because what little you do is all you need to win a popularity contest. Again, this is not I'm not here. I'm not. This. I don't have. I wasn't here to live through whatever Christie did to y'all. I wasn't here for that. So I can't take it personal. I don't have anything against him, man. I really don't. Only because I wasn't here. So I'm just being honest. I don't have anything against any members of the city board of city council and board of education. I don't have anything against them. I wasn't here to experience. I'm only telling you, as someone, as an insider who was an outsider who's now back inside, I can only tell you what the numbers tell me. And if there's one thing I know about people from New Jersey, we can count. We know how to count. And that's the thing. Numbers don't lie. And so when you look at the pathology and you go back 20 years, well, when you look at the governors, well, they haven't done a very good job. When you look at city council, well, they haven't done a very good job over a 20-year span. Well, when you look at mayors, they haven't really done a good job. Look at it. If you want to, so if there's not a death or a natural disaster, what can we do to galvanize the people? Okay, here's a message. How about hope? I can give you a plan that will give you hope, something that you can wrap your brain around, something that you could totally wrap your brain around, and that is legalize it and decriminalize it within the city, within the borders of the city of Trenton. Let's be honest, because what you do, because the trickle-down effect is you legalize it here, you get a lot, you slow down the number of people going in and out of jails unnecessarily. And number two, every day, and I know y'all see it, at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, look down 29, look down Route 1, look down 95, look at all them damn cars that just coming in and getting the hell out of Trenton. They have no reason to come here except for work. Well, you know what? You decriminalize it here, and now you got a reason to get some of them cars to come do business in this city. You take a subject in the conversation between the citizen and the police, and you take that away. If we is legal here, you and the cops ain't got nothing to talk about. If that's all you doing. If that's all you doing, and if all you got is weed on you and it's legal, we ain't got nothing to talk about. So now you lighten the load on the cops. Now if you doing heroin and coke and all that other stuff, I can't help you, and I wouldn't want to. But when it comes to weed, that's all I'm saying. Take it off. And the thing is that the more you do not exercise your civic responsibility by voting, even on the local level. You want to shock the shit out of this building? Get 84,000 people to just vote, whether they voting for your guy or not. You can't ignore 84,000 people. You lost 40,000 people in 20 years. I was boots on the ground in 2005 in Baghdad. It was my unit that George Bush was talking about when he gave the State of the Union address. We were in Baghdad. I seen it with my own eyes. I was there during the Saddam trials. I saw the Transition National Assembly happen. I saw it with my own eyes. These coins are proof of that. And I'm seeing the same damn thing here. The same thing. We're fucking up, and we fucked up in Baghdad because we did a piss poor job of explaining to the people what change looks like. We did a terrible, terrible job of explaining what change looks like. And folks around here do not know what war really looks like. Yes, you have to become war to survive a war. That's a fact. And when you're talking to people who have actually made that choice, because understand something, veterans and the military make up less than 1% of the population. Less than 1% of the people in the United States do 100% of the fighting for all of y'all. We do 100% of the fighting. So there's no reason why this right here, and you're losing veterans every day. Every day. The things that I had to go to, the things that I had to go through to save Staff Sergeant James Alvey, I would not wish on nobody. It was like reliving everything I went through downrange all over again because I needed to save my friend. For the first time in my life, I've come to a point where I've realized that my social, my political, and my personal issues are in alignment. And it is in this regard when it comes to the legalization of marijuana. Now, do me a favor. Everything you heard me say, Even if you don't remember what I said, just take back the passion that you heard out of my voice and you go talk to the people, talk to your neighbors, talk to your cousins. Get their asses out and go vote. Register to vote. You don't want this happening? Get their asses out. It is the answer. There is a plan. People have a plan where we could bring jobs in. This industry is only in its third trimester. So we have a unique opportunity. In the city of Trenton, your leaders are stuck in 1996 in their way of thinking. And that is how they have done it. And they've gotten you guys disconnected in the worst kind of way. I love you, Trenton. I love you, New Jersey. Believe me when I tell you, everywhere I went in this world, I spent 6 months in Russia, I spent 6 months in Belgium, I spent months in Afghanistan. I've been everywhere. And every time somebody asks me where I come from, I always say, yo, I'm from Trenton. That's the way it is. I'm from Trenton. And the one thing about people from Trenton, we always tell it like it is. We tell it. And but what we need to, at this point, all I wanted to do is put that mirror right back in y'all faces because it's your fault. It is your fault. Get out there and register. That's how you fix it. That's how you get their asses out. They're scared. That's why they do the manipulating of the lines and all that other stuff so that you can't vote. Just go register and vote. 84,000 people, that's enough to get somebody's attention. I love you all. Thank you.
Let's give it up for all of our veterans. They don't get enough love from us. All right, it's almost 4:20. Are you guys excited? All right, we got 2 more speakers. We have a very lovely woman who I met at the joint a little under a year ago. And in the last year, she has done so much. She has blossomed. She's been an active member in our movement. She's one of our best volunteers and supporters. And she is a medical cannabis patient with an amazing story. Let's give it up for Karen.
Hi, everybody. My name's Karen, and I'm a medical marijuana patient. I want to tell you a little bit about my sign. For 15 years, I've been in bed in the house in chronic pain on 300 milligrams of morphine a day. And I had no life, no anything. I'm sorry. I didn't think I was going to be upset over this, but So I've been following CMMNJ for many years, and Weedman and Lefty and everybody, and my head was still in the game, but my body wasn't. So I decided to end it. I went off all my narcotics, all the antisocial, psycho, whatever kind of medications I was on, and I went off cold turkey, and I am now proud to say I am 9 months, no narcotics, no narcotics at all. I take cannabis, and I have to say thank you to Lefty and everybody in the movement have been so supportive for me, and it's just a huge thing that's opened in my life. And once I went off it, the first thing I did was come to a CMMNJ and Sativa Cross podcast here at the State House. That was my first thing I did. I didn't know anybody, but I knew them. So I figured I have to give back. That's what we all have to do. If you want to change stuff, you can't complain if you're not in the game. You have to be here. We need people. We need bodies. We need to be strong in numbers and show everyone that we are serious. This is a serious thing. I mean, I'm 46 years old. I can't believe I just told you that. I lost my whole 30s and half my 40s. I was in freaking bed. I lost all that time. Well, I want it back, and I am getting it back. And we need to legalize and help other people. There's other people out there that need it, and that's all I got to say.
some of these stories have happy endings, and Karen's one of them, and I'm glad to be working with someone like her. So speaking of happy endings, we're going to conclude this rally with Kyle Moore. And Kyle's another person I met here at the State House at the weekly Thursday gatherings, and we've been best buds ever since. And he has been organizing with Democracy Spring, and he's going to tell you a little bit about their incredible march from Philly to Washington, D.C., and the hundreds of people that just got arrested last week who are protesting money in politics. So give it up for Kyle Moore.
Hey guys, as Vanessa said, my name's Kyle Moore, and I'm an organizer for the East Coast Cannabis Coalition. And I just got back from marching 140 miles from Philadelphia to D.C. In this march, I represented the East Coast Cannabis Coalition because this group marched to get money out of politics. And that affects us in the marijuana movement because pharmaceutical companies and private prisons are the ones that lobby for prohibition. So I marched with them for 140 miles and arrived in D.C. on April 10th. And on April 11th, we knew hundreds of us were going to be arrested. So on the night of April 10th, right before getting arrested the next day in front of the Capitol building, 500 people filled the room, all to get training to get arrested the next day. We overpacked the room so people could break the law, but not just break the law, to fix the law. Because money out of politics is necessary for us to legalize marijuana. And I just want to say before 420 that I'm proud to be standing with hundreds of people again, all ready for civil disobedience to not just break the law, but to fix the law. And if you haven't heard about these arrests, over 1,200 were arrested in 1 week. And there was a media blackout on this. And the only New Jersey paper to write about this was the Trentonian. And the person writing for the Trentonian? N.J. Weedman. So since he can't be here today, we need to change the law, we need to fix the law, and we need to say, fuck the law, smoke it anyway. Thank you.
All right, I want to thank you all for coming down here, for being brave, because it ain't easy being out of the cannabis closet, and it's not easy to stand up against injustice. So thank you for coming out here, standing with us in solidarity, and for educating yourself. We hope after this you will spread the word, you will let people know what happened here, you'll share your pictures, you'll tell your story, and you will continue to fight against the drug war and continue to fight for legalization. Let's cross the street and celebrate 420. And free the New Jersey Weed Man!
All right. This is Ken Walski from the Coalition for Medical Marijuana New Jersey, here at the State House at our demonstration, 420 demonstration, led by Vanessa from the East Coast Cannabis Coalition and many great supporters. A wonderful crowd here. They gathered at the City Hall and marched to the State House. Vanessa, you did a great job.
Thank you. Well, you know, had to hold down the fort since our fearless leader, Mr. Fortune, is not here. But I think we're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, great rally, terrific speakers. Now we have a moment.
All right, 4 minutes till 420.
And the passing of the Unity Torch, a torch that was going from Maine to Florida in the shape of a marijuana joint with a little flame inside. It's actually a lightable joint. So we're passing it to Philly right now, even as we speak. I was in New York yesterday at Dag Hammarskjöld Plaza, and I was part of the pass from Connecticut to New York. So that was a very exciting moment. It was a great thrill to be at the UN. The UN's an amazing building with 193 countries come there. You know, you're not an American when you're in the UN. It's a special area that you can get your passport stamped as an American citizen right there on the East River in New York City. So, and yesterday was very interesting at the UN. It was the start of UNGAS, That's the UN General Assembly Special Session on Drugs. And so the people from the different countries were talking about the various reasons for reforming drug policy. And it was, hopefully it'll turn out to be a very productive thing. There's a big demonstration going on today in New York, even as we speak, from 3 to about 6, 3 to 7 p.m. On April 20th in New York City. And they're trying to end the laws that criminalize drug use and possession for personal use. They want to lift any ban on funding harm reduction services. They want to ensure access to evidence-based treatment grounded in compassion and science. They want access to medicines such as cannabis and ibogaine, MDMA, and other substances that have been shown to help and treat a variety of conditions to be considered a universal human right. We're really talking about the rights of patients to have access to medicine. I know I'm a nurse. I've been an RN in New Jersey for 40 years, and the American Nurses Association said that it was the right of patients to have access to medical marijuana. In New York, they also want pardons for all nonviolent drug offenders and reparations for those who have been incarcerated, with a restoration of their civil rights. You know, some of the civil rights that are associated with marijuana offenses have a more long-lasting impact on a person's lives than even the criminal penalties. These civil rights violations include expulsion from public housing, loss of student loans, loss of employment, barred from other employment, loss of parental rights. They're doing the countdown now across the street at the State House, and it's 4:20 on 4:20, ladies and gentlemen. It's a holy time here, 4:20. Mike Chizuko just showed me that it is in fact 4:20 on his watch, on his cell phone camera. And a lot of people are over there. I see clouds of smoke rising up from the crowd. And beautiful sunny day here in Trenton, New Jersey. And just people out expressing themselves. You know, one of the things I think that led to a reversal of the laws in Colorado were when the the state police are actually walking across the State Street now, and they're heading towards the crowd. I certainly hope it's not in a confrontational attitude, but.
Well, Lefty was supposed to make an announcement.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Well, it's kind of hard to say over a loudspeaker. You know, okay. FD Usway opposed to set, you know, I can't even pig Latin it. Yeah, what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to be over on Trenton property.
Yeah.
Not there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they're talking with Larry now.
Yes,
Larry was
was
the one who got the
and Larry
permit
was the one they told to not do this. So let's see where nature takes its course now.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. It's. Again, I don't really want to say it over loudspeaker, but the state police don't ask much here.
Yeah, really.
They really don't.
Yeah.
You know. So, and as you know, as again, you know, all appears to be well.
Well, yeah.
You know, but it's like it always seems to work out satisfactorily in the end, pretty much.
Well, it certainly had a chilling effect on the clouds of smoke that were coming up. You know, no one seems to be smoking anything right now, so.
Right.
Yeah.
No, well, it's not.
So, well, the crowd.
Okay.
The crowd does seem to be moving off of the state police grounds and over towards the city of Trenton.
Here's the simple version. White bricks, no good to be standing on if you're smoking. City bricks, different story. So we never tell anybody what to do. Just make sure everybody understands certain guidelines that, you know, if we can all have a symbiotic relationship here for the rest of the day, I would find that nice.
Well, the crowd is peaceful and
I got to tell you,
friendly.
this has got to be one of the best, you know, behaved crowds in a long time. It's like, it's very good representation as far as I'm concerned. I think it's good representation. Like I was saying before, you know, we have, our issue covers a broad spectrum of people. And most are more free-thinking than staying inside the box. And personally, I like the fact that you can't herd cats. You know, everybody's going to be their own sort of person to a degree. But I also think it's nice to see people enjoying their manner of enjoyment without it really disturbing anybody else. You know, being done, it's nobody's in anybody's face. I'm feeling kind of sorry that I'm on the wrong side of the road here as far as I'm concerned right now, but somebody has to sit here. And
well, it's nice to be respectful of law enforcement. I mean, you know, for the most part, they've been very cooperative with this.
They've been great here.
You know, law enforcement is not the problem. The problem is the policies that law enforcement has to
well put. That's
you know,
exactly true.
Enforce, and we need to change the policies, and that's what we're about doing here.
Well, this is also what I think people here are really starting to feel, especially one of our last speakers there talking about how we need to be involved and go, you know, beyond this, that if people can take to heart what you just said and say, what's the simplest thing I can do to take part in the legislative process or the health department process, there are things people can do without leaving their house. Without, you know, there are things they can do. You know, when somebody's smoking cannabis in their own home, it's a good time for advocacy as well. We think of outdoor advocacy like this, and this is striking. I got to tell you, it is a good view from this side of the street, what I'm seeing across the street right now.
It's a nice
But
ground, that's for sure.
if everybody, you know, also combined it with the smallest amount of being involved with your own legislators, everybody I see across the street, your vote counts the same as a neurologist voting. You saying, I smoke pot and I like it a lot, counts the same as somebody talking about the endocannabinoid system when you apply it using a vote and being in touch with your legislators.
Oh, there's a lost wallet here, a lost blue wallet. If anyone has found a wallet, please return it to the stand here.
Yeah, please, I really appreciate it. My card's in there, my license, no money, but if you find a blue canvas wallet, thank you so much.
Did you march from the State House, sir?
I'll try another way. We need a wallet to be found, a blue canvas wallet. It has no money. It has what this gentleman needs to go on with his life, as it were. So please, if you found it and thought it had money in it, I'm not going to say shame on you. Just drop it so somebody else can find it. And if it's not over there, take a look wherever you are. Thanks. Yeah, I hope you find it.
So what, it looks like about maybe 200 people, would you say, Jim?
I did a pretty good count. All totaled up during the day, I'd say close to 200 people took part. It's real hard to count people.
Yeah, it's just an estimate.
I try to do a head count. But usually, if anything, it's an underestimate. So I'd say safely it's between 125 and 2. That's probably the upper end. But everybody's out and not feeling like they got a target on their backs.
Right, right.
It is a sight.
We got Bob Botanic there from Decarcerate New Jersey, passing out newspapers.
All right.
New newspapers, new copy of his newspapers to.
Well, this is the process.
And this mass incarceration that the war on drugs really has exploded. You know, I was part of this mass incarceration movement. I worked in the Department of Corrections for 22 years, Jim, from 1984 to 2006. And in those 22 years, the prison population in New Jersey exploded from 9,000 inmates to 27,000 inmates. It tripled just in a time.
Any idea what the budget would? I mean, it doesn't even matter. The number must be alarming, the amount of money that the budget had to take care of that.
It's over $1 billion a year. And, but you know, the information is all on the Department of Corrections website, on the State of New Jersey Department of Corrections. You can look it up. I mean, I started a program, telemedicine program for the inmates that not only improved inmate care, but saved the state several $100,000 a year. And just the one little idea that I had to implement saved the state a couple $100,000, and they still talk about it. Commissioner Lanigan from the Department of Corrections mentioned it in his most recent budget report or his annual report that's published there on the Department of Corrections website. So, but you know, the whole the explosion of the prison population during those years really had to do with the enhanced enforcement of drug laws and the enhanced criminal penalties that were associated with drug laws. You know, that's what drove this mass incarceration. And the unfortunate
Follow
thing,
the money.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing when I did the numbers, in 2006 when I retired, 86% of the prisoners were black and Hispanic, Jim. 86% of those 27,000 inmates. So now we've improved a little bit. We're down to about 22,000, I think, at last count. But you know, they hide some of the inmates in substance abuse treatment programs, and you know, I mean, they're court ordered to be there. You know, it's almost like being in jail, but not quite. And the percentage of minorities in the prison system is down from 86. It's down to about 77% now. You know, still disgraceful numbers. Thank you so much, Bob. Great,
Yes,
great.
a wonderful example of why post-traumatic stress needs to be added to the list of indications for getting a registration card. And it's nice to see somebody talk so pointedly about it, to where I'm looking at one as a resource at our next committee hearing in the Senate. I want him to say what he just said in a very focused manner that he does to the Chairman Vitelli.
You did a great job. Did a great job of speaking out.
I think we found help in getting Chairman Vitelli to post that bill sooner rather than later. And I think he's standing right there. I think we found the guy that's going to help us make sure this bill gets posted now, not during a lame duck session.
Yeah, well, Vitale did hold a hearing on it,
He held a hearing on it during the lame duck session so late that it fell off the table for a miscalculation, thinking that they could pull it from a vote till they were sure it would pass.
Well, one of the supporters.
And there wasn't enough
there.
time, so we're not going to wait till the second half of the session.
Larry, everything
and we're
worked
not
out
going
all
to
right?
let them do that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's all you can do. Larry.
Somebody found you wrong?
No, somebody told me you guys announced.
Yeah. So. Well, yesterday was quite an experience in New York. Start of the UNGAS, the United Nations General Assembly Special Session on Drugs. So, you know, the entire world really is starting the dialogue now about how much of our drug policies need to be reformed, you know, throughout the world.
I'm only going to say white bricks no good, darker bricks good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna harp. Not my place.
Yeah, well, the
white
people-
brick's good. You look down, you're standing on a white brick. Uh-oh. It's a fine line to walk here, you know. Feel like, you know, Chris Rock always puts it, he says a phrase, it's like, you know, you shouldn't be standing on the white, but I understand, you know, I mean, because I kind of do. However, it was a good,
Mike.
good, respectful, nice, quiet demonstration.
Did a great job. Mike
good to see you.
Chizuko from Normal, New Jersey, and the Libertarian Party.
And I
did a
think
great job talking today.
I think others following the example of looking to get into public service, whether it be town council or the state assembly or something, you know, yeah, it's a sacred right we have to vote. I've always thought the real sacred right is that we get to run for office and ask for votes.
Right. I mean, I've always seen it as, is that on? No.
I've always seen it as, it's your First Amendment right is freedom of expression, right? So
Yes.
when you're participating in government, especially if you're a candidate, not only are you able to express yourself, but you're able to express the opinions of hundreds, thousands, tens of
Yes.
thousands, millions of people who otherwise would not have a voice.
And
There's
even when you do not traditionally win the election, if you can advance an issue like that,
Right, that's what it's all
somebody
about,
else will pick it up.
getting your
And
message out
The
there.
reason, as I explained to you, that I ran was the Democrat and Republican both running for, New Jersey Senate, the 10th district, were against medical marijuana. So I wanted to show them if I had one issue, and it was an experiment. I mean, I do have other issues, but all I advocated was medical marijuana every step of the way. No matter what you asked me, I'd bring it around to medical marijuana. I'm good at it. I'm shamelessly pivoting. And I got 4.26% of the vote. That either candidate could have increased their vote
Right.
by 4% by simply supporting the will of the people.
And so if they adopt your message, even that is a victory. So
Yeah.
that's really the main thing. There's a lot of people that are resigned to this is the way it is, the status
and
quo.
you know
And
what?
they just don't think that standing up and saying anything is going to make a difference.
There's
And maybe
something-
it won't make a difference that day, but somebody else will hear it. Somebody else will hear it. The message gets further.
What office are you running for, Mike?
It's town council.
Town council.
In the township of West Milford.
Well, that makes an awful lot of sense because that's a winnable election too. I mean, for the most part, when I ran as Green Party candidate for U.S. Senate, I mean,
U.S. Senate.
I voted for you.
I did too.
My first run for public office. I realized that election day was the least important day of the campaign. The most important day were the days that I was out talking to people that
Right.
I would not have had the opportunity to speak to about the issues that were important to me, like drug policy reform, universal health care, and getting money out of politics. So, but your focus can really actually bring about positive results and actually win elections. So, you think
I'm
small at
optimistic.
first. You got to think small at first, Mike. But God bless you, and I
Thank
wish
you.
you all the luck in the world.
Thank you so much, Ken. You're an inspiration. Keep up the good fight, guys.
Yeah,
I'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll be here. I started my drug policy reform efforts with a term paper that I wrote as a senior at Trenton High School in 1966. So I think that really this is my 50th year as working for drug policy reform.
Wow. That's a big number. You got to be old to say something like that. Wow, you're old.
Yes, I am.
Hey, old people smoke pot too. That's right.
Barely. No age discrimination. And, well, marijuana really helps with the problems of aging like no other drug.
I can out-dab you guys.
And, may I say, everybody, thanks for showing up. Thanks for making today the success it was. The right amount of respect, the right amount of fun. It was a good blend today. And you all showed up on a weekday. That counts double. So.
And thanks to the state police too for being
well,
supportive and understanding the issues involved with a big demonstration like this. And
well, it's always been a good relationship with the state police, who are here to protect us as well. Because right off, if somebody came up and started bitching at me and trying to hit me, I'm going to the state police because I need help. But that, as it is, the requests are never burdensome or out of line. And like I always do, I tell them I appreciate what they do, and then they say, we're just doing our job, and then I say, there's different ways to do your job. Thank you for the way that you do your job.
Well, that's a
And,
good
I
point,
mean
Ken.
that. They know
Yeah.
that. And I'm not just saying it because they're over there. They know that. I say it all the time.
Yeah. How did it work out with that group for minimum wage this morning? Were they here? Did they show up?
Yes, they had a permit for the other side of the street.
Oh, they did get a permit.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did we not go to the health department once 2 years ago because this was taken and there was like something going on at the annex and we couldn't get a permit for across the street?
No.
We were told 2 years ago that they don't issue permits across the street. So we found out a couple of weeks ago that they do, which gives us a third option. Only our problem would be we're amplified, and if we were opposite somebody else that was amplified. So they did. They had a good demonstration across the street.
Okay.
And came by and worked with Lefty on the proper volume over here, and Lefty was very good, acquiescing to what they needed.
Excellent.
Well, they were recording some things too, and we do have some volume here. So that worked out pretty well.
Good.
But they don't allow separate groups to have separate demonstrations in the same permit area, whether or not it's okay with the groups.
Oh, you mean so they couldn't?
Yeah, so I said it was okay,
Yeah.
and State Police said no go.
Yeah, okay.
And that's fine. Again, this is a learning process for us in the third year, making sure we know where we can and where we can't. So
Yeah, sure.
we're working on it. Lefty, are you wrapping up while I'm podcasting? Is this what it looks like when I start picking up early?
No, we're performing a song.
You're gonna play a song?
There's gonna be a song performed live, and I'm looking for a cable.
Song performed live here or somewhere else?
Right here as we speak.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not
Awesome.
You're not going to ask me to sing. are you?
Look, he said, I'm not doing it. Don't look at me.
Introducing Jason Arnold, ladies and gentlemen.
What will you be singing today, Jason?
What are you singing, Jay?
I think somebody else sings that song too. He's not here, unfortunately.
Good.
Oh yeah, where's Ed? What happened to Ed? He's not here.
Well, he's not. I
They
was
took him out of the
one
game.
of the last people to find out. It was a child custody non-payment.
Please.
But it was getting a kind of a bullshit ticket. That then, when he went to take care of that, was told we have a warrant, and I don't know what the money situation is. So he's not here. I guess that's.
So it's debtor's prison, huh?
Yeah.
Boy, well, I thought we did away with debtor's prison. I don't know.
That's pretty much what it is.
I can't see the benefit of.
Well, I got to
throwing
tell you,
somebody in prison.
I find it mildly disturbing that a man is going to be in jail for child support, lack of payment, the same week that his one-year-old grandchild died in a home accident. It just seems like a lot for one person to have negatively in 1 week. And but he did make sure we had the chance to come out here and do this. He made sure it happened. I would imagine it would happen anyway. But as always, if something's going on with cannabis in Trenton, Weedman, a.k.a. Ed Fortune. Notice how I a.k.a. his real name. I don't a.k.a., In other words, prefer you call him Weedman if you don't mind, New Jersey Weedman. But if it's going on in Trenton and it has anything to do with cannabis, you can pretty well guess that it started with him if it didn't start with the Coalition for Medical Marijuana in New Jersey, a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, good standing with the state of New Jersey for over a decade.
Well, that's pretty good. Good segue.
Yeah. Shameless. It's a pivot. I learned that from politicians this year. It doesn't matter what you're asked, you pivot to what you want to talk about. And we are good at that.
So how are all these people going to fit down at the joint? You got like 1,000 people here.
Okay. Well, listen, you're going to have to do, we got to
already did
sign
that.
off the way we always do. Would you do the ode to whatever it is we do?
What time is it?
Well, it's
about 20 of 5.
I mean, soon enough. It doesn't have to be necessarily the last thing you do. It just, I think it's very fitting and appropriate, especially since we found out that what he says is inscribed on the War Memorial
actual War
Auditorium.
Memorial.
Actually, literally, I never get to say literally where it's literally written in stone.
Are we going to end the show now, or is that it?
Well, no, no. Let's end it with a happy song, but do this first. Got to have Funny Reefer Man one more time at the end of the show, but you want to get the memoriam out of the way.
No, I want to end it.
You want to end it with that?
I have to end it like that. We have to end it like that.
No Funny Reefer Man?
We can do the Funny Reefer Man now. Do
Come on,
whatever you want.
Let's do that now, could we? I got to tell you, this song is impossible not to move when it's on. I mean, there's something wrong if you don't want to move, or possibly you can't move. I mean, I guess Cheryl wouldn't have been moving to it. But she'd be laughing at me because it's like that Robert Klein, the old comedian who had this, I can't stop my leg, he would play the harmonica and he couldn't stop his leg and he wouldn't. There it goes again. Well, I feel like that because if we follow the memoriam with this, I feel so bad because I'm so happy when that song's on. I feel like dancing. I feel like Chuck Barris at the beginning of the Gong Show when he would come out and do his little dance with the funny, funny Reefer Man. And whose version is this? This isn't Cap Calloway. You got to really stepped up. There it is. This is for all the people who showed up today. Old Cap Calloway song redone to perfection called Funny Reefer Man. And if this doesn't make you move, you're not listening or there's something wrong with you. Reefer Man.
Funny Reefer Man.
1, 2, 3, 4. Woo!
Cap Calloway, the original stoner.
Woo! I'll let everybody know when the next woo is coming up. So anyone's gonna woo with me, but probably not.
Reefer Man smokes the reefer, he gets high, flies through the sky. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. Smoke it, smoke it, smoke it, smoke it. 420.
Here we go.
Happy 420.
Somebody got the feel across the street there. Woo!
Play another song.
Woo!
Play another song.
Funny Reefer Man. Funny, funny Reefer Man. Funny, funny. That's twice as funny. It's just plain funny.
Funny, funny, funny. Reefer Man.
3 funnies?
Woo! Woo! Woo!
That's it, man.
As in William Haney. Woo!
Yeah.
All right, one more song, and then I think we're going to have a live performance here, but I'm not sure where he went.
Yeah, what up with that? Where is that?
Because we're going to break down soon.
No live performance?
All right, SativaCross.com. Kyle Moore, got any closing words, Kyle? Any closing words for the ceremony today? You're in stripes, dude. Dude, you're in stripes. How appropriate that you're in stripes, Kyle. Why are you in stripes? Can you tell me why you're in stripes at least? I want to know why you're dressed like you're in prison. Please, explain yourself.
I think in the last 50 years, 10 million plus people have been arrested, so I wanted to represent everyone who's ever been arrested in the drug war and specifically for marijuana and nonviolent crimes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. Damn shame.
Goddamn shame.
And unfortunately, it fits you very well. It looks like you'll fit right into those prison clothes. You being a hot
it's going
smoker.
to be my everyday look, I think. I mean, the looks I get on the street are pretty amazing.
Yeah. Especially with a joint in your mouth.
Yeah, and one in my pocket, so, you know.
Oh, wait, that would be me.
So everyone please clean up over there because we want to leave everything nice and sparkly. And, yeah, please do that.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. I want to thank our sponsors, magicalbutter.com, medical-freedom.com. Actually, I have theme music for that somewhere. We should do it the right way. We close the show every week. We're here every Thursday. And, Kyle, you should come by on Thursday.
I am officially unemployed, so I will be coming every Thursdays now. And I guess I'll come in the prison uniform, so.
There you go.
Free weed man.
Free the weed man. Free the weed man. Free the weed man. So thank you, magicalbutter.com.
Yeah, on Thursday I'll give you an official interview and everything.
Kyle, I'll be so happy to see you on Thursday. And I want to smoke with you. I didn't smoke with you today, did I? No. I'll smoke you. I'll smoke you at the Weed Man's. All right. Gotcha. MagicalButter.com. At the touch of a button, enjoy great tasting, healthy foods or make natural skincare products. Magical Butter makes your recipes better. Brownies, cookies, smoothies, sauces, soups, veggies, candies, salad dressings. I always get stuck here on salad dressings. Why? Why can't I get past that salad dressing? Something about tossed salad. I don't know what it is. I can't get past that. Kyle, have you ever had tossed salad? No? Well, Magical Butter makes a great salad dressing for your tossed salad, and you might like it a lot, even in prison. Seafoods, marinades, meats, beverages, lotions, salves, much, much more. Butters, tincture, peanut oil, corn oil, olive oil, coconut, sunflower, grapeseed, avocado oil. It does it all, folks. Magical Butter uses our exclusive technology to extract botanical nutrients. Cannabis. They will take your cannabis and make cannabis oil for you. None of this crap about limoncello. I'm not going to bullshit you about a marinara sauce. Make some weed, man. Take the Magical Butter machine and put some weed in there. Take an ounce of dank fire and stick it in that Magical Butter machine. Thank Aaron Angel, too. What do you know about dank fire?
Dank fire?
Yeah.
It smells dank. It smells dank.
What you know about dank fire?
This sounds like a good name for a song, Dank Fire.
Dank fire.
Yeah.
I want some dank fire.
Dank Fire. Tinctures.
He's like,
Eat to treat. Eat to treat. Mix oils, butters, salves,
Or are you
tinctures.
going to the joint?
We're going to the joint. Oh man, can you say that into that mic? That'd be great. I would love to hear that.
It comes 98% CBD per gram, 0.001% THC for people with VA contracts, and it's in vegetable glycerin, terpenes added to it, no PG, none of that.
World Hemp Supply.
Yeah, that sounds like the ratio that is somewhere around what helps epilepsy.
Yeah.
And seizures.
I would love to put this in a Magical Butter machine. I would. I will try anything. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Just put it where. There you go. All right. I have a high tolerance. I'm warning you right now. Yes, I've taken CBD. This tastes lovely. Is this guava or something? What's in there? Say it on the mic. What's
Pure pharmaceutical grade vegetable glycerin, sweet orange, essential oil terpenes, organic, and the CBD crystals.
Wow, I'm starving.
Full spectrum, so it's technically hemp. It still has terpenes in tech, so it's still a full spectrum industrial hemp product.
I got a buddy who grows hemp in Colorado. He's allowed to grow CBD only.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we were out in Colorado in October. We was at, you ever hear of whole hemp company?
No, but
They had 160,000 pounds. Wow. This year they're gonna have 2 million pounds.
2 million pounds,
all
Jim.
sun grown.
What's that?
What would you do with 2 million pounds?
What would I do with it?
Yeah.
Spread it around. People could use it. Save plenty for myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Enough for 2 lifetimes for myself in case I underestimate.
I ask everyone to give 10% to the sick kids. donate 10%.
I'll donate every. It's like you can't take it with you. You want to use up your toys like on the last day of your life.
Yeah. Time it right so you die right after you're done.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
You save a little bit for that day. Make it perfect.
Well,
So what about the invocation?
Yes. Thank you. What's your name?
Absolutely, Adam.
Adam. Thank you, Adam. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep your card here handy. This is going to go on top of my pile now. Well, that's okay. I got you.
And
Okay. Yeah. Awesome, dude.
we started
Thank you.
getting a lot of sick kids, so we started to the point where we actually give a 45% discount.
Okay.
If you have some kind of illness, just because we have a lot of people on disability and they're fixed income, so they're afraid to spend the money. We do a Hemp for Vets Indiegogo campaign where we supply vape pens for vets at cost, so people donate the cost. And
Thanks, man. Appreciate
you guys
it.
have a good day.
You too. All right. Medical-freedom.com. Get your flags with an L from William Haney, medical-freedom.com. Joan Ford's son, who's going to be putting out that book very soon. And I want to thank our refugees. I'll give a shout out to our refugees. Vivian Wilson, Sarah Estrella, Diane, Claudia, JacksonStorms.com, NewJerseyWeedman.com. SativaCross.com, CMMNJ.org. That's the Coalition for Medical Marijuana, New Jersey. JacksonStorms.com, DavidVersusAutism.com. .org, sorry. DavidVersusAutism.org. Jenny's Purple Ribbon Journey, Jenna's Journey, Prayers for Pete, Prayers for Sarah, Tuffy's Fight. And then there's the patients who didn't make it, who are still waiting for their access to cannabis. Patients like Cheryl Miller, who got me started in activism and really affected me. It's Jim's wife, late wife. Sabina Rose, Joanna. She died under Christie's watch. She died under John O'Brien's watch. That's blood money, as far as I'm concerned. That's your blood money, ladies and gentlemen. Sabina Rose is blood money. Gracie from Pennsylvania. Marie from Pennsylvania. Cindy May. Oh, I forgot to say a shout out to Legalize for Lorelei. Dana and the governor and Lolly were all sitting together the other day. It was amazing. So yeah, we always end the podcast with this. It's very serious. As much as we like to joke around and have fun, we always end it with a serious note because it is a very serious thing, because 1 out of 10 patients die every year.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
Next year, 1 out of 10 patients that are alive now will be including in our memoriams. That's just so many.
So we'll be back tomorrow here in front of the State House. Come back tomorrow. We'll be smoking right over there again. Yeah. Same time, same station.
Well, you're a patient.
I'll be legally medicating.
Well, he's legally your patient, so you get to do that. So why don't you close it out with your, again, what do we call this?
This is the Ode of Remembrance.
Ode of Remembrance, and if I'm not mistaken, it was first World War II veterans. World War I veterans. This was written for them, but it applies to victims of the drug war and everybody that we need to remember, so we can fix what we need to fix. Anyway, thanks.
See you tomorrow. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. at the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them.